Hello, everybody. It's Schmitty with another episode of Talkin Schmit. Listen, I got my 3-Pac Warriors shirt on, Dub Nation, representing the East Bay. Today on the program, the good homie, Mike York. Thank you to Jane Goodall and the Leaky Foundation, who hosted an amazing event for me and my wife out at the Golden Gate Theater in San Francisco. We'll be right back after these messages. Blood Wizard. Blood Wizard. Blood Wizard. Blood Wizard! Shop.bloodwizard.com.
Tickety-tack.
Hey, it's Corey at Blue Plate, 3218 Mission Street. Come see us. Meatloaf, fried chicken, deviled eggs, Dollar Olympia beers. We're here every day of the week. We got a garden and we got smiles on our faces. Come let us make you happy.
This is Mike York, and you're listening to Talkin Schmit with me and Mr. Schmit, man. Bang.
Hey, Talkin Schmit. I'm already not watching.
It's cool, like tonight is the night.
Damn, this is like the coolest thing I'm ever gonna do.
I wouldn't say it was fun.
What do you mean, bro? Christian Fletcher's younger brother.
Fuck the Dodgers.
Big Dog's in. What do you think, Dolan?
We on? Schmitty?
Talkin Schmit.
Alpha macaroni.
Most of these guys, their opinion don't matter.
Talkin Schmit, right?
It's skateboarding.
I remember that.
Talkin Schmit.
What are yuns doing?
Holy shit.
Skateboarding homies.
No, Schmitty, you can't jump in.
What is happening?
Gregory.
Yes, we are.
Wi-Fi check 1, Wi-Fi check 2.
Boom, boom. Liquid death all up in your face. Hey, listen, I woke up this morning, got my coffee at 6. I watched the Aaron Meza masterpiece, Penal Code. I went straight to Vita's de Paco, then to Mouse. I missed the Fit video. I went into the chocolate tour. I came out of Low Cash. And then, yeah, right. I ended it with that. And fuck, dude, that's a lot of epic shit right there and a sick portfolio for my next guest, Mr. Mike York.
And you just get into the good part. Skateboarding. Hey, man, this skateboarding is, I love that, man. It's my favorite thing in the world. Like, you know, and just everything that is brought, you know what I mean? Not like stuff, but just like to be a person, you know what I mean? Like learning how to just like, you know, cope. Like think about the things that we go through skateboarding. Like it's mental. You know, the older you get, it's more mental than physical. You know, like you know how to do the trick, but you know, like I don't know if my body can take slamming once or twice. You know, like sometimes people are telling me, "Man, York, you still got it. You can front crook that rail," and I'm like, I probably could, but I don't know if I could take the 2 minutes of feeling it out. Like, right. I don't know if I can just ollie, put my truck on, jump to the bottom and be like, woohoo, let's do it. Yeah. Like, I'm done. I'll be done. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy how like that, the mental of it, you know what I mean? It's like, almost like you're going back to being a little kid again, like nervous, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to ride down this hill and hope for the best. It's like the same thing, you know? It's always been like that, dude. It's always been like that.
Well, is it more challenging to learn a new trick or to have fun not lifting any wheels?
The challenge is the trick, of course. The challenge is going to be pushing yourself to do a new trick too. You know, slash fun. Like I like, you know, it's funny because everything goes in like cycles. So like all the curb stuff, you know, dudes up like a, hold on, that's my birds right now. Hold on. Do you hear them? Okay, sorry about that. I own some hawks out here, you know, wild hawks. They're my kids. Shh.
Where are you at?
You heard those guys, right?
Yeah.
I'm outside. I'm in Valencia. I live in Santa Clarita in Valencia.
Oh, by Magic Mountain.
By Magic Mountain, yes.
Okay.
So I'm out here. I've been out here. Hey, man.
It's cool. You can barely
the
go.
hawk.
Let's talk about the early days though. Where were you born and raised?
Born in New York, and then my mom and dad moved to California, sunny, beachy Oakland. You know, they're from New York, so they think they think California, the whole California is like, you know, the beach in Santa Monica or something.
They thought the Bay was a beach.
So yeah, so they moved. We can move there for so cheap, and it's like, yeah. So I lived in like, you know, in the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s in Oakland in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? All around, and you know, by the time I was able to like, you know, move on my own, I lived in like a nice neighborhood. But the whole time when I was like little, I lived in like the worst rugged like spots, man. It was crazy. Like get up out of there, public transportation spots. You know what I mean? Like hurry up, bus, like get me out of here, sit and duck.
Right. Where were you at when you like kind of got into skateboarding? Were you in Albany or not yet?
Yeah, El Cerrito, Albany, Berkeley, the whole East Bay, like right there. I was at school, probably the end of 6th grade. I went to Fairmont, which was in El Cerrito, and it had one of those walls back in the day. I don't know if they still have. Yeah, schools have it. You know, just the wall in the middle of the playground with like you kick the ball against it or whatever.
Yeah,
like a big wood ball or whatever.
Yeah. It's like a kickball.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a kickball.
It's like you can practice tennis against it by yourself.
Yeah, like a you know, like a little kid handball court type thing. So it was one of those at the school, and I'm just chilling after school, nothing to do. I'm kind of riding bikes, so I'm familiar with looking at bike magazines that would have a little skateboard, like a bunch of boards in a row, and I could like see the Roscop face and like a Lucero with like, you know, with the eyes through the thing and graphics, and they always look cool and stuff. And I'm checking out. I'm riding my bike. I'm not doing anything but riding it. I'm not doing jumps or anything. And these dudes come through like full blown. Like at the time, obviously I don't know, but they're full blown, like pumped off of like animal chin. They're coming through with the damn ramp on a skateboard. 4 of them. Their clothes look dope. I mean, they just look like skaters. One dude had the blonde Tony Hawk joint. They put rolling in this ramp. I'm looking at these dudes like, what? And then they put the ramp up against the wall and they're fucking wall riding it, right? So obviously they're on their like animal chin shit, watched it and was like, all right, we're going to wall ride like fucking Thebo and these dudes, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that. I don't know if it was fucking Thebo and these dudes. It could have been. I have no clue on who these guys were, but they were good enough to put a fucking ramp against a wall and wall ride the shit. Everything about these dudes, from their shoes, their skateboards, the stickers, everything, and just the way they were hanging and doing. I'm looking at this shit like, what? I wanted a skateboard from that. I don't know who those guys were, but dude, thank you. You're in, well, I want to say, you know, 80, maybe like 87, 88 in fucking Fairmont school. If you brought a ramp there with your boys, dude, and you're watching this, thank you, whoever you are.
We're going to put a feeler out to Bryce Knights because I know he had a ramp in the back of his car and drove it all around. So it could have been him and the crew.
And you know what's crazy? And I'm a little kid on a bike, so they're not even tripping. It wasn't like I was a skater and they're like, oh, this dude, you know, because I skated, it became, oh, this kid, let's go. You know, some dudes were cool. Some dudes were like, we ain't skating with this guy. But I was totally like a kid on the playground, so they didn't even give a fuck. You know, skaters, they don't care. Like,
right.
And it could have been because Thebo lived in Albany, right? And that was in the Bay Area. So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, I want to.
You never asked Jim about it?
I didn't know to ask him. Like, you know, if anytime when I was younger with Jim, it would be in an awe moment. So it was like I never was that like, cozy with him to be like, oh yeah, you know that one time. You know, I wouldn't doubt if it was those guys because they were rad. They were landing the wall ride and everything. Like I remember just going, how the fuck, what? Like, how do you even have a concept of any of this? Like, right, blew me away, changed my world.
So when you got your first board, were you trying to build a ramp and bring it to a wall or
no way. I couldn't even like, I was tripping on like just the way those dudes would hop on their board. So casual. I couldn't even do that.
Right.
I'm like, bro, like I like didn't even know how to like step onto the board with a bent knee. You know what I mean? I'm like stepping on it, straight leg, fucking whipping out. Like I had no clue. Like, and then the guys that I saw skating were already good. So but they're young, so they're just telling me, yeah, you just get on and go, you know. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't work. Great, like, skate lessons.
Did you end up meeting some kids that was kind of like your crew out there?
Yeah, this kid named Marvin Hale. It was this one dude, and he was like, he had like knew what was up, and he was like a skater. And he would show me. We would skate El Cerrito BART station, all the curbs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they didn't give a fuck if you were in the parking lot at all. Excuse me. So, you know, he would just show me how to rail slide, how to like, there was like wheelchair ramp, red curb, so I could like roll on, grind, and like plop off, and like slowly learn how to like do it, and slappy, and you know. And then there was good skaters there too, like the high school kids. I remember this one kid named Jahy. That was his name. He could ollie real high, I remember. And he used to always ride Gons boards. So that's who got me into Gons, because that dude, all he would ride was Mark Gonzalez boards. Like, I didn't even know skaters yet. Like, if you would have said like Caballero, I would have been like, what? Like, I didn't know that yet. It was like, it was just like that guy, and thrashing. So I knew who Corey Webster
was. The movie.
Yeah. So Corey Webster, I knew who that was. I knew who Mondo was, because Mondo's board was coming out with Smash Skates.
Yeah.
And Smash Skates wasn't real. You know what I mean? None of that was real. I'm looking at that shit like, what? You know,
right.
My first real skate video I got for Christmas was Sick Boys.
Oh.
You know? So I'm
did
looking.
You put one and one together? Like, did you see Jim around and then be like, oh, that's that dude?
Jim Thiebaud. Okay, so when I started getting skating a little bit better, I could do grinds and like little rail slides on benches and shit like that. And I'm like buying decks now, like mini Bill Danforths and shit like that was my jam. You know,
with the flip tail, like, right?
Yeah, with the tri-tail.
The tri-tail. That we thought that made us ollie like a foot higher or something.
And see, I was already like Bay Area, so like I'm looking at dudes, and I knew what Concrete Jungle was, and they got their boards made at the same place as Alva. They had tri-tail. So I was like, oh, those dudes ride the tri-tail. So that's what I'm going to go for. I didn't necessarily think of it like a product name, you know, like, oh, he has an FA board, I got to get an FA board, or he has a girl board. It was more like tri-tail. This board has the same kind of tail as that.
Yeah.
And he's getting that board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I the mini Bill Danforth. It had Alva, had like a claw mark in one circle and like some skulls and shit.
I remember that one.
Yeah, dude. I had like 5 of those fucking boards. I love that shit. And the Fred Smith with the screaming face, but that was hard to get. That was a hot item.
That was a hot seller too. That was like one of their best selling boards.
That board was hard to get. So if you got one of those, you were, you know. So I'm able to skate a little bit, and my mom worked in over by Rockridge BART. So I would take the train, and all the BART stations had different cool shit to skate. And some of them had like little flat bars, maybe like a foot high. You could like chain your bike up to, so you could do little board slides and stuff like that on them.
Yeah.
Would be curves and stuff, and each parking lot was different. So it was like my early kind of adventuring out skating, and I would just, and it was safe for me because it was like, oh, get off at, you know, Concord BART, skate to Concord BART station, get back on the train home, right? Like meet your friends, whatever. So we would just do like BART tours and like get off, and you know. So I was skating Rockridge. It had all it's the same fucking Rockridge. That's what's so awesome. So what it is the same shit. So I'm there, and that's where I met Thiebaud, but I didn't know who he was. But I just remember seeing this older dude fucking doing half cab rail slides on the bench. I remember trying that on curbs. He's doing it on the bench. Boom. And I'm up there. Whoa, like just next level. And then he gave me a postcard. I remember we went to his car. I was so impressed because he could just ollie up the curb so easy. Just look, come to my car real quick. He's on PAL still. He's bones out. I can't ollie up the curb, so I'm like getting to the curb, picking my board up, like, you know, putting it up there, riding. Gives me a postcard of him doing a big method off the jump ramp. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah.
He has puffy cheeks.
Yeah.
Big method. He's got like skate rags or something on, like looking dope as fuck for the time. Doing the method right off of a ramp, and it's a postcard, a Pal Peralta postcard.
I think is that not the one that he's doing a wall ride over Tommy at the fountain, or no?
No, it's not. It's him doing a method on the ramp.
Okay.
But
I
know
remember him, the sick pants. You were like crossbones everywhere. Like,
yes, like the head rag thing on, or
yeah.
the sleeve, like the Lance like sleeve or whatever. little beanie. So yeah, and then that's where I saw him, and I was, be skating the curbs and stuff. And so then I found out that Oakland Tech was over there, and then I started roaming to like Oakland Tech with my friends to skate the bank. People say, oh, the neighborhood's super gnarly, like you guys got to be careful. So we would be all nervous, but nothing ever happened. I think because we're thinking it's gnarly, and to everyone else, they're like, oh, kids on a board, stupid. Like, and us, we're like, oh, it's the hood. Like, and
right.
Really bad ever really happened. I think more hood shit happened as I got older, and you have more like things that are worth value, I guess.
Sure.
I guess didn't in the hood with like, your camera and generator and all your crap and your probably nice car. They're probably like, okay, what the fuck?
Right.
But
yeah.
Back then too, it was different. You didn't have like, you
didn't have an $800 iPhone in your pocket.
Right. And if you're in the neighborhood, you kind of assume that you're there because, you know what I mean? You're a part of that community.
Do you remember your first time going to the city with your skateboard?
Totally. That dude, Marvin, that told me, he goes, dude, because I started so it's so funny because I started getting better at skating, and he would put me on to everything. This dude, Marvin, put me on to, he gave me LL Cool J tapes. He gave me special ed tapes. It's like, listen to this. So he put me on the music early. He put, here's Beastie Boys, here's this. And then he would say, he gave me my first like Thrasher magazine, the one with Christian Asoy doing a big old air. And it's like, he's
like over a city.
Yeah. It's blue.
Yeah.
That was my first Thrasher, bro. So that
sick.
Holds deep to me. When I see that picture, I go, oh yeah, that was he gave me here, bro. Like he's lacing me, dude. So he gave me the mag. I'm going through that. I really want to say Caballero wearing the Batman shirt doing the method is in there. Or at least I want to say on the bank, the weird bricky.
Like fish banks?
Yeah, there was a couple of legendary things in there because I remember looking at it, like going like, well, think about all that I'm learning, how lucky I was to learn that way and have that guy give me that shit. And then my video being Sick Boys, and just happened to first skater I meet, Steve-O, not knowing, put it together later and go, fuck, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm pretty like lucky to like be raised that way. And then to be raised in an SF way. So then here it is. My man goes, dude, you're getting good. I know this skate plaza place that's really dope. And he goes, and it's right off the BART. It's kind of like another BART station. It's literally a block away. And it's in San Francisco. And I was like, well, how long does it take? It'll take about 45 minutes. Let's go. Boom. So he takes me there. I can't fucking believe it. It's not the EMB guys yet. It's not EMB yet. It's fucking full blown, like, everybody, like dudes doing hand plants on the sea, riding up and boom, doing a big fucking street plant coming down. Dudes dropping off the stage, ollie grabs. I'm fucking tripping. I'm like, bro, I never seen nothing like that. Seen it in thrashing, but I never seen it in real life. Thrashing was the thing I had to seeing a group of skaters doing shit. It must be skate crews that don't like crews and throw jacks in the fucking bowl. throw some fucking diamond bolts on the mini ramp. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also being a little kid and was like stoked on taking the BART into San Francisco. I felt like a cool guy. You know what I mean? So I'm doing that. I'm able to go to San Francisco and, now I'm like doing my homework on the BART. So now I'm like getting it right with my mom. So I'm like, bro, like, it out. Like I'm going to go to San Francisco every day and fucking go to Embarcadero every day and skate. And I'm going to do after school. I'm going to do my homework, 45-minute ride, and then finish it. Even if it's not, A's, it's done. Like, you feel me? And then skate. And when it gets dark, get on the train, go home. I lived close to the El Cerrito BART station at the time. So that was my routine. I would just do that. And then slowly at the time I was wearing a camouflage hat. So someone said, "Hey, Rambo, blah, 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 blah," right? And I look over and it's Kelch. "Hey, Rambo." Call me Rambo. I had a camouflage hat on, right? Oh, it starts off Rambo. And then nickname right away, boom. And then I'm like, meet him. And I meet this dude, Hannibal. And this dude, Hannibal's super cool. And he's like, kind of saw me coming and kind of put me under his wing. And they were HBO at first. It wasn't EMB. It was HBO, Homeboys Only. That was their little squad.
Oh.
That's what Hannibal was. So Hannibal kind of put me under his wing as the little dude that was coming to Embarcadero. Like, he come here all the time. I see. You start noticing the little homie at the skate park. And you keep skate. And you go, bro, after a week of seeing homie, you start going, "Hey, what up? What up?" So that's how Hannibal started doing. Hannibal was cool with Kelch and everybody over there, Scotty and all those guys. So that's how I became friends with all those guys because, Rambo, Rambo, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is Mike. Oh, that's little Mike. That's big Mike. That's white Mike. That's black Mike. That's big Kelch. This little, you know what I mean? Like blah, 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 like the nicknames and the way it was. And so as I'm a little kid coming down to Embarcadero, who do I see? Chico. Can't barely even speak English, but he's skating. We skating about at the same level. We're about the same age. So we kind of, what's up? But we don't really talk because Chico's kind of shy at this time. We're young, we're little. I'm shy. So he's like shy, I'm shy, but we see each other. So we seeing each other coming down every day. And those guys see us. Then it's like Carl. Then like Carl goes, "Hey, I got my homeboy Marcus. He has a fucked up ankle. You know what I mean? You should go meet my man Marcus, blah, 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 blah." I meet Marcus and I meet LeVar, and then these guys are skating. So that's this crew. Then I meet Lee Smith through those guys. So it's like now the junior Embarcadero dudes, we're little kids now meeting up there. You know what I mean? And it used to be Chico, and he had another homeboy he would come down with too. I forgot his name. And he would be there. And it was me a bunch of like little kids, like the younger Embarcadero dudes, right?
Yeah.
So as we would start coming down, I think I remember coming down there and I remember Wingding coming. So I was already chilling at Embarcadero. I wouldn't say like a Embarcadero dude, but I was at Embarcadero when Wingding started coming down because I remember tripping that they called him Wingding. You know, he had blonde hair and shit. You know, Mike Kao had blonde hair. So they called him Golden Child at first. You feel me? Because he's Asian and he had gold. You know what I mean? But these dudes are funny as shit, dude. Like they would get canceled now, but back then, like it was like witty and the comedy was like that. You could people wasn't sensitive like that. You know what I mean?
And it was kind of a little bit of like, I don't know if hazing's the right word, but kind of initiating you to the spot. Like, hey, this is a dope spot. We're here every day. Like, it's kind of like surfing where it's like, you can't just come to the best wave and be a kook, right?
I think that's what made like certain people not come anymore. And you know what I mean? And like, we have some fucked up nicknames, dude. Like some of those nicknames, like they're late, like they're fucked up, but it's like, you know, tough skin. And it's like, that place was, like some of those guys, man, all they did was clown and diss but it was so hilarious and funny. And I don't think it came from a like hateful place. It came from a joking around place. And like, it's almost like you just want to like up everyone with what you say. You know what I mean? You want to be the one to get everyone to go, whoa, you feel me? So people are just coming up with that kind of stuff. And if you're around a lot of witty, smart people, they're going to come up with crazy shit. And I think a lot of those guys were so like funny and like there was a dude called EBB, right? Everybody's buddy. Even though everybody is one word, everybody's buddy, EBB, is hilarious. And that would be the guy. And they're still out there. And it's so funny. I'm so surprised that has like faded. I thought that would stay in the mix because how many EBBs are there? Like a dude who's never met you, but knows, and all of a sudden he's your best fucking bud. He but you ever run and you're like, whoa, okay, we're like, we got to, you know, boundaries, bro. We gotta, you know, this has to develop. Let's get to know each other and stuff. You know, if you're allergic to bananas or whatever, you know.
Oh my God. At that time, was there anybody down there? Like, would you see Bryce or I don't know, Luke or anybody down there with cameras, or were you not even aware that people were shooting photos in the early days?
No, I wasn't aware of any of that stuff. I wasn't even it was still kind of like little kid. You're a pro. You dropped out of the sky. Tony Hawk was just, hatched.
Okay.
You know, and at the time, we weren't looked at as cool yet because we didn't skate the city. We were the skaters looked at us. The older guys looked at the way we were like plaza kids, I guess you could call it, or whatever. Like we just stayed in one place. They looked at that kind of like lame. They were like, bro, the city is meant to be skateboarded through and ripped. You guys, one fucking place and just practice on this fucking same 4 or 5 obstacles over and over, different tricks on the same shit. Yeah, you're changing the tricks up, but you're fucking, don't you get sick of looking at that shit? And we're like, fuck no, because I need to land this shit to fakie, then shove it, then half cab, then front side, then, you know what I'm saying? So
that was like a training facility, but it was outdoors and urban.
Yeah, the way we were skating, see the way that style of skate, and I skate like that more now. I'm more like, I understand the value of skating through somewhere, having enough skills and tricks to be able to wall ride, grinder, bench. Oh, look at that little bank. I'm just going to carve in and do a little, and keep it moving. Like that shit is fucking so fun and amazing. How Tommy's video parts, early Tommy Guerrero video parts.
Yeah.
Smashing through, ripping that, I'm out. Bam. How people kind of do that now. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
They decided I'm out. Boom, down the fucking psycho ass hills. They're taking it to their level. I'm just tripping on, man. I thought backside ninth was gnarly when I did it. Like,
For sure. Yeah.
Those guys probably skate up that shit. Skateboarding is a wild ass adventure, dude. The places that it can bring you is insane. And not just like traveling. I mean, just mental shit. You know what I mean? Early Embarcadero days, we're thinking like, how many fucking tricks can you get off? You know what I mean? So that's why if you notice, we would like, it'd be like the videos stopped being so hit a spot, started becoming 5 tricks at one spot. Bang, 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 bang. Annihilated. It changed, and we were not realizing our era. I wouldn't say us personally, but yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. You don't know what you're doing ever. History has to be looked back upon and then you talk about it. We don't know what we're doing right now.
Yeah, in the moment, no.
Right. So we don't know that. So we're changing skateboarding style in a sense, because now it's instead of hit the nose wheelie and keep it moving, it's hit the nose wheelie, 180 to half cab nose wheelie to half cab nose wheelie, 180 to manual on the same thing. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now skateboard, we're not realizing we're doing that, but you watch the questionable video and watch Tim and Henry video. Lines, every different stuff, here, change it up, but the same place, turning that place into the most fun spot where if you skate, like I hit this and go, it's boring. It's like, I only got 2 things for this. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a fire hydrant. I can ollie it and 180 it. I'm done. I'm out. But then if you're like, no, I'm kick flipping it, I'm nollying it, I'm fucking this, I'm that, I'm wallying it, nose bonk it. Like, figure out how to get kind of creative with the spot instead of like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, flash. And then we were fortunate enough to like, we could venture out, but very small. So we had Embarcadero, a block away, we had Mini Hubba. Block from there across the street, we had Hubba Hideout and stairs. Across the street from that, we had brown marble benches. And then across the street from that, maybe up the street, we had more, maybe 2 blocks up the street, you had Black Rock. And then there was 3 sets of 3 stairs on the other side of Black Rock. You go up the cool hill, there's where the rock was and the ledge. Then even a block up there, you have a bump down the hill. So within maybe like a 10-block radius of a downtown, we had like a fucking skate park down there.
For sure.
It was, why go anywhere else?
Yeah.
The only hill they had was like this fucking marble granite, beautiful ground. So it was like, and it was steep enough, like you could roll down and do actually tricks if you wanted to. Like, it was like not that fast, like where you're like scared or out of control. Have to hold yourself up. You can like bone out and like fuck around and do 180s and shit. And it was like stairs. So you could pick the stair height, one, and as the hill went down, the stairs grew. So you could pick where you wanted to ollie down. It was beautiful. super fun, and nobody was getting kicked out. And if you did, it was like you just went in a circle again. You know, you played cat and mouse. They kicked you out. Oh, Black Rock back there, okay, Embarcadero. And you had Carl's Jr. right there saying free refill. So one dude buys a cup and 48 dudes drink. wasn't no COVID or nothing.
Dude, everyone's got initials where their mouth goes. Did you spend any time at Concrete Jungle?
No. See, I was and that was like super far for me. Like I was still the city that traveling into the city, I wouldn't even know. Like I didn't know it was just right there. Like now, you know, as like when I'm a kid, I'm like, dude, I'm already coming from Berkeley to SF. And I knew like just like the downtown area, like where I would skate, and that was it. So I had no idea. I'd never been there. I wanted to go. I wanted to skate. I knew that they had a train track flat bar thing.
Like a slider bar, yeah.
And everyone would tell me how cool it was. And I was like, dang, that's like one of those things I wanted to skate. And I would see it in Sick Boys and stuff. I never got to do that, but all the downtown stuff, you know, when we had the earthquake. So I was skating Embarcadero before that damn earthquake.
Oh yeah, where it had the off ramp.
Yeah, that used to be a big parking lot under there and all that. And yeah, they tore that up, and that's where the nose bonks came out. The wooden square pillar things, man. And like all of a sudden, like you go across the street, like Embarcadero would get hot. There were a lot of kids. So like the EMB dudes and like Thebo and like the sponsored dudes would like go across the street. And I remember Jim Thebo gave me, I keep bringing Thebo up. Huh? Well, that's hey, he gave me, I had one of those blue SMA shirts. Do you know what I'm talking about? With the stripes.
Yeah.
Long sleeve. He gave me his, dude. I leave that shit. I remember he was like, yo, he's like, see that SMA shirt over there? He's like, just take it. Like, take it on the wash it. You can have that. And I was like, are you shitting me? I'm a little kid in a big ass. I put it right on. I didn't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? I was so hyped, you know what I mean? And that's just like skating with those guys, like doing nose bonks, being a little kid. Like, that was what I noticed. It was like, I didn't want to hang out with these guys because I thought they were cool. I wanted to hang out with them because I could skate with them. Do you know what I mean? And then if we're cool with each other, then boom. Like, and I knew that was the only way that I was able to like really skate that stuff, you know, at the time with them. Like, you know, like I want to be able to session with them and be good enough to where I'm not bothering them and they can actually be like, yeah, he did his little nose bond. That was cool. That's life, period. Like, whatever you're getting into, bro, like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be your own dude and like you're the guy at the skate park just going the wrong way and just you gotta you know, flow a little bit. You gotta find out cultural stuff going on, meet those criterias, and then you'll be okay, right?
And also like getting like a stoke from your peer is like everything to you. Like I always say, like when I edit videos and shit, I don't care about Timmy in Nebraska and his basement, all hateful, whatever. I care about like Pat Duffy or whoever I made the video part for. If he calls me like, dude, that was sick, I'm like, we won. That's done.
Of course.
You know, you want to do it for your peers and for the people you're involved with.
A really long time ago, and I tell my kids, and I stress this a lot with them, like, you do it for you, claps or boos, like that's on the side. Like, you just do your thing, you know, and if you know you're coming from the heart and you know what you're doing isn't going to offend anyone in a way where that you're being a dick, then you're good. Now, if I offend you because my hat's white and you hate white hats, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
this is my white hat. You don't like a white hat, that's your fucking problem.
Exactly.
I didn't do nothing to you. It doesn't say like fuck off, you know, red hat bearers or whatever, right?
What about the flip tricks? Like how much on your board were you when you first started flip tricks? Like, did you already have a bunch of tricks in your bag? Like, were you doing manuals and stuff before you even started flipping?
My bag, I was always like into ledges, grinds, tail sides, and stuff like that. So my favorite skaters were all the street skaters in the 80s and early 90s. So that's going to be the obvious names, dude. My heroes are the most boring, obvious. If you've been skateboarding, it's Gonzalez, not as Coppet. You know, like I know everyone's tired of hearing those kind of dudes. Tommy Guerrero,
right?
come on, dude. Those are the guys that I related to. I would fast forward 95% of the Santa Cruz video to get to Nodis, dude.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Like, I did that. I would fucking forward through it. Like, just like fools forward through me to get to Elridge. It's fine. I got fucking buttons there. Please do. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I was into. And I would watch and study and study and study and study. Nodis, do the footage video and Neil Blender, all those dudes. And like, that's where I learned out of my music and stuff. So I'm like, okay, go down to Rasputin's, Dinosaur Jr., look for that Bug album. Got it.
Right.
You know, Speed Freaks. Yes, I have like the Speed Freak soundtrack.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning like all that stuff. I'm like, you know, who is this guy? You know, like Fire Hose. Okay, I got to look and see. I got to go down to Berkeley, ask people, you have Fire Hose? Yes, over here. Get it. Oh my God, I have that song on cassette. Like, old school. Like, you know,
like if you're a skateboarder from a certain generation, you definitely probably, I like that combo.
Yeah, it is.
But you're going to have the same musical taste. Why? Because everyone loved Nodis. So fucking Fire Hoses and your Captain, there are doubts. Like, you're like, dude, I got that. And you're like, how do you know that? Duh, we both love that video part.
And you know what's so cool is early skateboarding being raised like that. And then me meeting like all my friends, like, and us going like, did you watch this? Yeah. And no shit, you like that? It's like the same as like, you read that book, you seen that movie, like no one that movie, you know that song. And that, like, say for instance, like, you know, when I met Carol and like, you know, me and Carol, you know, skating and like we start talking and, you know, he'll say something about like Neil Blender, or I'll say something about, you know, whoever. And it's like, we were like raised exactly the fucking same. You know what I mean? We loved everything, like the tricks, the things, the Lance Mountain, the this, the that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
The things that we admired of these people, the certain stuff, like so many of my friends, like, it's so cool to like go like, wow, you watched that too. Like you know, what's up with Pat Brennan though? You know about, you know, Pat Brennan, sick. You know, like, you know, Bo Akita's so smooth, huh? Like, hell yeah. Like, and you're like, you know, it's like a bond, dude. Like, it's
totally
sick.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It wasn't any of that stuff. So it's like, you knew, you know what I mean?
Did you meet Carol at EMB then, or where'd you meet him?
I think I want to say there was this group in Oakland called Team Death Squad. Jamie Hustle would know all this.
Yeah, okay.
Jamie Hustle will never let me live it down that I stole his Thrasher magazine. I stole his Thrasher. He'll always tell. And I did. Like, I was a little kid. I saw the Thrasher. I was like, I'm putting that in my bag and I'm out, dude. I stole the Thrasher. I didn't know it was his. I just saw a Thrasher mag and I was like on my like bass shit. And I was like, hoop, hoop. Feel me? I needed to rip a couple of them pictures out. I think it was like a Nodis OJ Team Rider wheel ad that needed to go on the wall.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Did you have a montage on your wall? Like just kind of like this with stickers?
I used to put have room for the guy. Like I had a little Nodis wall, a Tommy wall.
Like sections?
Yeah, and I'd leave empty, like, because I knew they was coming with more shit. And you know what I mean? Oh, bang, new one. Slap that one right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was cool. You know what's funny is I did that even into like my chocolate days with my friends. Like I had a Keenan one, I had a Daniel one, I had a Chico one at my house too. Like I did it in my room, like just my buddies and shit.
I remember when we discovered Gons, we would be so disappointed when the new mag came out if there wasn't at least one photo of him in there. Because you'd be like, a new Gons photo. Oh, he's not in this one.
It was, I remember it, I want to say he hadn't had a photo in a long time. And then he had a picture in like a Trans World doing a tail grab on a mini ramp. But I remember being like, yes, he's back.
So what was your first sponsor? Were you on World for a second? Chico said he thought you might be on World for a minute.
I was on World. My first sponsor was Venture Trucks, Greg Carroll.
Okay.
Skating Embarcadero. Him and Keith are launching the new Venture truck, the Featherlight, the new one, the one that looks like the one to this day. the last truck they made. So they had they had a different one. It was like Salt and Pepper Ventures, which would be like a, you know, white base plate and a black hanger.
I like those.
And it was looked like a Thunder would look now, kind of look like an old Venture back then.
Right.
And they came out with that new thing. Dogtown was kind of revamping a little bit, like Canine Wheels was kind of popping. And they were kind of looked like the San Francisco skate companies were like, let's capitalize on our young skaters here. So I noticed that my man Shelby Woods from Embarcadero got sponsored by Canine and Dogtown. And then Wingding was on Dogtown. And then like Kelch got sponsored by like Spitfire and like Real or something like that. And then like I started seeing like everyone, they started grabbing all these guys. So it was our OGs, the guys that ripped, were getting all these sponsors. So we're little kids. All of a sudden, Greg Carroll, I see, starts Think Skateboards. And the first Think Skateboards has all my friends on the bottom of the board.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Sam Smythe, who I met through Carl Watson, you know what I mean? And then and Sean Mandoli's on there, and Nick Lockman. And I met Nick through Carl Watson too. Carl's introduced all those guys. So those four dudes are on there. I knew Sean Mandoli from Embarcadero and also from Greg Carroll and them, you know what I mean? Yep. So they have that board. It's a missing children's board. So it's really cool ass graphic. It's like the missing sign, 4 kids that are the new team of Think. These 4 guys. It's fucking brilliant. So if someone bit that right now, you know, it'd be tight. Like I would, to that would be fresh as fuck. You know, with 4 new guys on the team, it would be sick. So anyway, they're doing that. So now Greg Carroll's doing that, and he's also the team manager of Venture Trucks. And so there was this dude named John Burke, and he was like this guy who was like a little older. I guess he was notorious for lying a lot. You know, Todd he had a big spin flip, and you know, he's World Industries, and I know Rocco, and you know, Mark Gonzalez stays at my house. I've shown Gon's had eggplant before, and you know, that guy, you know. I know Tony Alva. I dreaded his hair. I'm the one that showed him the carve grind thing. He's like that guy, right? So he was like definitely famous, notorious back then, John Burke. Okay. And so John Burke was on Venture. I guess John Burke's lying reputation started to catch up with him a bit. And the older guys, including Greg, who was definitely older and more of a mentor guy at that time, was like, that dude was riding for Venture. I guess that dude got kicked off Venture. So there was a slot in the team. I didn't know it worked like that or anything, but Greg's like, hey, and he comes to me and he says, yo, this dude is not on Venture. I'm not fucking with John Burke, man. I don't like that dude. He a liar. I don't fuck with him. He's off the team. So we got a slot. What's up? Are you going to be here tomorrow? I'll bring you trucks. You want to ride for Venture? I'm like, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? So Greg Carroll put me on Venture, my first sponsor. I was like blown the fuck away. I'm going to high school telling people that don't even skate. I'm sponsor. Like I'm on Venture. Like, you know who's on Venture? Like I'm like naming like guys like that. I'm like, I think Wade Spire was on Venture, and I was so psyched to be on Wade Spire. Like, me and Wade Spire teammates. Like, I remember bugging like him and like Chef. John Chevy rides him. Oh my God. Like, I remember being psyched. Like, Venture ads back in the day were so sick. Like I must probably butcher this dude's name, but Mike Kepper. Well,
Kepper.
I was a huge fan just seeing this picture. I'm like, bro, and he had Venture ad. And I remember my Venture ad of him. So I had that on my wall, and I was like, bro, like this.
He was doorman at the place across from Delirium for a little while. Like more recently, we were drinking one night. We came out. I was like, holy shit, it's Mike Kepper. Like after a long time.
I remember that place.
Kilowatt, maybe?
Oh man, that fucking area is so fun. That area is so cool.
Oh yeah, Bermuda Triangle. We put a lot of alcohol down in that area.
Like when I was doing my little roller horror comedy, that's where that shit came from. It started. I wanted to just make a drinking club. Where like after, you know, at a certain time, you start off at Delirium and and the only way to get in is you bring a board and you sit with us and you buy a drink and we drink and we just skate and bar hop the whole time. So by the end of the fucking night, we're just like zombies, roller horror, like just pieces of fun crashing down the street. So
it's like they have those party buses, right? They just stop at a bar, you drink for a little bit, get back on, go to the next bar.
Yeah, but we're on the board, so how much fun. And it's like, and then you just meet up with more and more and more, so it's like a zombie mashing, like just wild skateboarding, you know.
Dude, what do you think the smallest wheels you ever rode were?
Probably 43. What's a real rainbow? Look that up. Google that. Ask Thebo that. Ask one of the deluxe dudes. I rode real rainbows, dude. They were like 43 millimeter.
Okay.
Adam Barbero. So like if you did a slide shove it in the wrong place, your board would flip over. Like the riding surface was like as wide as a dime, maybe. Like, and then wheels were so skinny. So, and then back then, I wonder why our axles slip so much. They're just like sticking out like Frankenstein bolts. Like,
but I trip out on the small wheels on bricks. It seems so gnarly.
To be cool, dude. You know how women stuff their feet in the little shoes and stuff to look good. Hey, man, he was right. And Real was making them, dude. Like I remember Real Small Wheels and Sean Mandoli, Rolly Mandoli's, and the Real Small Wheels was like 50, they were like 50. Or 54s maybe, and it came with 6 because they were so small at the time that they would come with 6 wheels, dude. You know?
Shit. Yeah. I kind of do remember that. Yeah. It was like
it right there. I thought that was so cool. And so what was rad is they give you 2 sets, but you get 3. See? That's coolest, man. And then you can have like the different colors. That shit was rad. Rolly Mandoli's, I still have one.
No way.
Brown. They made like dope ass brown and shit. I still have one at my mom's house.
Oh, sick.
It's fucking like a 43 or 41 or something.
Okay. I just talked to Sean like last week. It was rad catching up with him. I hadn't talked to him in years.
Dude, he is one of those skaters. I have a few guys that like, if they liked what I did, I was like super, like, I don't care normally what anyone thinks anyway, but if I got a dap from him, I would be like, ooh, like him and Solomon. If I can do anything and either of those guys say, hey, that was cool, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like those guys to me were very like high level, you know. And then later in my life, Keenan Milton was like that with me. Keenan would tell me like, that ain't it, York. And I'd say, all right, next one. And he said, that was the one. I said, all right, good, I'm good. Because, like, some people could get jealous of you doing a trick and getting a clip. Like, I've been around them, dude. You know, not bad people at all. I'm cool, and I'll still dap them and be totally normal. But I'll see the cringe in them, you know, and they ain't high-fiving so heavy. You know what I mean? Like, they landed it. But then they like, yeah. You know what I mean? So I've been around a couple of guys, and that's their hang-up. You know what I mean? Their hang up. That ain't me or the skater. Hey man, land it. So it could feel good to you. Usually you know, but if it's like something you've been fighting for and you're in the fight and you land it, you look over, was that the one? Yeah, like that was the one. Like you even see like I think Keenan does the switch pop shove it, switch manual, and he lands. He asks Chico, is that it? Chico's like, yeah, that's it. And he goes, cool. And that was electric. Like, you know, you had to ask, I touched her. You know, you're in the moment. Sometimes you're not even like aware certain shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's also, you know, you landed it, but you want that one though. Done tricks where I'm like, it looked like I was Van Halen on the guitar when I went, dude. I went, wow, how hard is that? And the guy went, I go, I got to do it again. He goes, I panned your feet. Check this out. Shows it. It's me in the front crook. I'm coming out fakey. It's panning to my feet. I don't see, you know, Def Leppard here with the guitar. Wow. You know, and I went, oh, it's usable. Feet were clean. Feet were bolts. I went, hey, fuck it. And then by the time he panned up, I was done rocking. So I was chilling.
But that shit's sick because it's like Gons would always do that. Like he'd make a trick and do the punch thing or whatever. There's one clip of you I love where you're at the pier, you land it, and then you almost like flex on the little thing that's there. You know,
Yes.
the little
Yeah.
you're kind of like flex on her or something.
I landed it and then like started like rapping and like, you know, like in my head. Yes, you know, this fucking around energy, young energy, dude. I have, you know, when I was young, I was hyper, and then in my like 20s and 30s, I was on drugs, and then now, like, you know, what am I on still? Like, I'm gonna be like 48 in November. It's young energy, dude. Sorry, guys. Like, you know what I mean?
All I got is caffeine.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a drink for about, you know, 6-7 months, and then I went and had like went wine tasting with my wife, and you know, we shared the one instead of us getting our flights. We shared our flights. That's the way of, you know, them bringing out the little sipperonis. I haven't even really been drinking, like, and not because anything happened, and I choose to do it that way so then I can enjoy booze when I want to, and it's not like I have to one or the other cut it off.
Yeah, totally. I stopped because a few things, but before I stopped, the one thing I used to do was put myself in check. And it's funny because I would stop drinking for a month. Which month did I pick? The shortest one, 28 days, February, every year.
If it works though. You know what I mean?
But it was just a way to prove, like, and you're coming off the holidays, so your body needs, like, you got to, like, get some good food and drink lots of water. But like February is always a good time to just be like, hey, you're not addicted. You don't have a problem, right? Right?
I feel like at a point I was just doing it out of being bored.
Right. Yeah.
So I wasn't necessarily feeling like I was drinking because I was sad about stuff. It would just be like, dang, I got nothing to do today. Well, I'm going to go get a drink or two, like, and sit around at home and whatever, you know. And in the back of my head, I didn't like that. Something bothered me because I wasn't stoked to want to do it, you know?
Sure.
So I just, you know, the way I had stopped was I had seen on Instagram, sometimes I get stuff I don't even subscribe to. It'll just be on my feed, right? You know,
it's weird.
Then you crap, different stuff. So one of them was like this, like 30-day challenge, like, you know, it's a 30-day challenge to stop drinking or whatever for 30 days and then see if you want to drink on the 31st day. And I was actually reading this self-aware book, you know, like a self-help kind of like style book.
Right.
And it was saying that the highest form of, you know, of loving yourself is discipline, is being disciplined. So one of the exercises was use your discipline and, you know, love yourself, use your discipline in one thing, take one thing and figure something, you know what I mean, in your life out that you could work that in and show yourself love. So I said, why don't I stop drinking? Why don't I do the 30-day challenge? And then it's also tying in with the book and what I'm reading, right? Wow. So I do that. And then 30 days turns into, you know, 6-7 months. And the beauty of it is I have the best fucking friends, like the best fucking people in my corner. I haven't had a lot of that. Right. I've had a lot of people that maybe we skate and that's why we're friends. And maybe I know the Spitfire guy or something, or I have a phone number or two or connection, or, you know, I can, you know, oh, you wanted to talk to Costin? Oh, well, my bad. Let me get out of the way. Oh, I'm your middleman. You haven't met the other side to be the middle yet. So,
right. You know, yeah.
I'll invite you. It was just nice. Like those guys will be able to drink in front of me. They'll give me a damn, you know, liquid death, or they'll, you know, hey, you ever had a non-alcoholic beer here? I got you a Heineken. And so I'm cracking a Heineken and I'm going, now I understand these things.
Right.
I never to make fun of this. Like, why would you want a beer? Why would you? And then I'm drinking a beer that's not getting me drunk when my friends drink a beer.
Right.
Going, I understand this now. My man, Brett Subi, that's like dopest dude in the world. Like, you know, props to you, you know, and that dude put a fire under my ass lately, skating and stuff. And it's just rad. It's so funny because if I'm like, man, I kind of want a beer, they'll be like, no, get your soda.
That's cool. Looking out for you. That's good, man.
Yeah, I need that kind of.
The opposite is people giving you shit for how come you're not partying? And it's like, man, this is hard enough for me. You got to help me.
We got to keep it the opposite, because when I partied, everyone didn't like it. Right? Me and some of my friends was more Baker before Baker doing something other way. They didn't like that shit. We was like, getting like, no, York and you guys in the group, you're kind. You know, go back to Powell Street, go over to fucking, you know what I mean? Straight up.
Right.
So it's like now it's like party. And that's what makes it dangerous too. You know, a skateboarder can have a beer in his hand at a skate event at 2:00 in the afternoon and no one will question it at all. At all. You know what I mean? Where if I did that at a PTA meeting, I might get looked at weird.
Totally.
And it depends on the alcohol too. Because I was getting smart. If I drank wine in the daytime, it was fine. And if it was white wine, if it was Housewives of Atlanta style, if I had a white wine right here, no one would say shit. You know? If I had a Jack and Coke right now or a Long Island, someone with a cherry in it, they'd be like, hey, this dude, it's crazy. Crazy.
Well, hey, did you ever go down to the peninsula at all? Were there any spots down there that you visited or like food like throughout your years? Because me and Mesa always talk to each other about all, because we were raised in the peninsula, which is, you know, anywhere from South San Francisco to Palo Alto.
You mean Palo Alto?
Palo Alto,
right?
yeah. Stanford. Did you ever put any time at the front five at Stanford or fucking, I don't know.
Jake Rosenberg.
Exactly.
Filming. Yes. Okay. So Jake Rosenberg, this was pre-Plan B. Dogtown was done, you know, with Bob Beck's part, who's fucking was that part, and Wade's part. Karma. But Bob Beck, dude, that dude got slept on. He was so sick. Everyone go watch Bob Beck at the Dogtown video. So yeah, it was around that time. And he drove me, maybe Sean Mendoli and him were in the Bay Area. And then I went with them back and stayed with them. We went to Stanford. And I remember we went to there's a little white hubba, and I nose slid it with a kink.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Filming nose sliding it, and we were filming for like the Reel video, and it was like early, and I was on Reel back then. You know?
Sick.
So I was with Sean and Edward De Vera, and then we were linked with Solomon later. And I remember Solomon was riding a Plan B Ever Slick board, I think, and he was like should have been riding like a real board. And I remember everyone was, oh shit, is he gonna jump ship? Like, you know what I mean? Like all nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping ship, dude. Because, you know, people would go to World, right? You know, like that style. Like, so he was riding one of those boards, I remember. And we were Spencer Fujimoto. That was the connection. The San Jose connection and Bay Area. Because me and Spencer are real good homies.
Oh, so sick. Okay.
I connected. And Spencer connected me with Day One. Spencer dude, there's this guy named Day One Song. I mean, what? What did you say? It's a Day One Song. I go, his name rhymes like that. He goes, yeah. He goes, dude, he's the best skater in the world. He's like, you'll know. He told me about him way before and he knew. He told me about him. I said, his name rhymes. He's like, dude, wait till you see him.
Wait till you see him. He does kickflips where his wheel goes off in the air. He catches it, put it back on. And it's like, what the fuck?
Like he's just absolutely the most like insane dude ever. Like, and to be that creative, dude. Like,
yeah,
good skaters, but then they need like, yo, why don't you do that on there? And they're like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. But Day One, like, bro, like full blown imagination, just creative visualization.
Yeah,
bro.
definitely.
Okay, it can happen. Boom, done. Like, there's no odds, dude. Like your wheel going back on. Your wheel goes back on. It comes off and comes back on, dude. Okay.
Let's go through the board sponsors. What was your first board sponsor? Was that Reel?
Yeah, Reel. That was Jeff Clint. Jeff Clint would come down to Embarcadero and, you know, watch us all skate and be cool. And I knew Jeff from Hocus Pocus. He was hungry. I'm going to get a rat. He was in the parking lot. And he was doing slide stuff and like curb tricks. He had like his quick cameo. So like I knew that. I was like, all right, you know, I'm already skate nerd at this time. I'm knowing all this shit. Like putting it together. Then he drove to my house, met my mom, sat with my mom, talked to her while I'm in my room. I'm not even in the fucking room. So I don't know what about. You know what I mean? And then Jeff comes in my room, hands me 2 fucking boards, Tommy Guerrero and a Thebo. SFTG.
Yep.
brown. Both were brown. Brown thing, and then the Hangman Debo. Real boards. They had fucking stickers as top graphics. Real stickers. They didn't even have a top graphic screen. It was a sticker. Bang.
Right. Damn, that's sick. And that's kind of full circle for you because you keep, I mean, whatever. You mentioned Jim a bunch, and then all of a sudden your first sponsor. Yeah.
I lived in fucking Albany. Want to know what? Okay, here's where it gets even weirder. So when I went to Albany High School, I go into the fucking lunchroom, the auditorium. I guess Albany High was known for fucking wrestling, right? Whose fucking pictures up there in a fucking thing all buff like this? Like,
no way.
This is Jay Thebo. Boom. It's fucking Jim. I'm looking up at the shit. I'm in a Thrasher fucking beanie. When Thrasher beanies came out, and like I remember getting one like, you know, Christmas or something like.
Yeah. At
school, my Thrasher, looking up, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, that's Jim Thebo. He was a skateboarder too. You know, you got another skateboarder. Are you gonna wrestle?" Blah, blah, blah. And I'm putting that together too. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This is crazy, dude. And I still get Spitfires to this day. Yeah.
You talked to, is Frankie hook you up, Gerwer, or?
Yep. No, man, best dude ever. Like,
fuck, I mean, yeah.
I love Frank anyway, so it's like, you know,
yeah,
it's cool that I have a reason to reach out to him, like on like that way with skate business. You know, send me a few sets of wheels. It's dope. He sent me a board before too. Wanted a 9-inch popsicle board. I'm like, you got any of those laying around? I know you know a couple dudes there. He's like, yeah, I can see what I can do. It was great, you know.
Oh man,
pulled my hip flexor on, so I rode the shit out of it.
Okay, where'd you go from Real?
World Industries. I got swoops, dude. I just left. Jim and them didn't do nothing. It was nothing personal. I was more the opportunity to ride for them. It was basically like, you know, you're a little kid and that's where you want to be at. So it was like, all of a sudden I'm not worth shit until someone likes me. Now I got value, and now they're going, "Oh, you're over there. Why don't you come over here?" Yeah. You know what I mean? All my favorite skaters, all my guys, everyone wanted me over there. I was flattered as fuck. I felt stoked. I felt a part of that more. You know, I felt more comfortable with that crew. They were all like my age. We're all into the same thing. We're all hyper goofy little kids, skate nerds. And, you know, because at the time with Real, and not just Real, a lot of skate companies, you had older OGs and then you had young kids. So we were separated. When Jerron and I would go on trips with Jim to like the skate zone, Pal, Santa Barbara place, you know?
Yeah.
Like we get invited. Jim's at Bones Brigade, so he's got a pass, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, and Tommy, so Rio got a pass in there. So he would let us, you know, get a group of us to go. You know, I would notice that Jerron and I would be eating gummy worms. Jim and them would be drinking grenades, you know, Mickey grenades and chilling and doing grown-up shit. So and their music was different. Our music was different. It was like, we were separated. We were in the corner. There was over there. You know what I mean? Where like with the world guys, it was all of us were like eating gummy worms and shit. You know what I mean? Right. So I just comfortable with that. And I looked, it wasn't Real was any less and World was any more. I looked at World as being, I put it on a pedestal. The way I look at skating, I put it on the pedestal like that. Boom. So that's what made it have value. When I look back now, I'm like, duh. Because all I ended up doing was leaving that and going right back to deluxe to stereo.
Right.
I went right back. Jim's going, "Oh, you're back, huh?" And I went, yeah. And it was like, you know, and at this time, Jeff Clint, you know, had passed away during this whole time. And so it's a different deluxe. It's kind of getting ran by so I'm coming in and Jason Lee and Dune are there and things are different. I think they were going to do a company with Jordan Richter called Family. I think they were going to do something like that too. I want to say American Dream.
With Ron Allen.
With Ron Allen, yeah. So I think there was a lot of like new stuff happening, like new changes with Deluxe at that time. So when I came in with Stereo, they were working on a video. And they had LeVar already over there. They had my man John Diago already over there. And, you know, Jason Lee is an absolute favorite skateboarder in the world. And like, you know, my hero, number one hero, like best dude to ever touch a skateboard. Like, you know, that I would put his picture. What is skateboarding in a dictionary? That would be. I would put Jason Lee's video part. That's what skateboarding is, and then whatever else you could do around that, you got it. The video days part, that is like,
yeah,
on the vert ramp, bro. Everything you wouldn't want to do backside ollie back tail grabs like that. I do.
Yeah,
that back tail he did. I want those some big old back disaster. Oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Everything. I got my Dickies on looking like him to this day, dude. So it's like, that dude, that's the best skateboarder in the fucking world, dude. Jason Lee. Like,
so were you like kind of fanning out, like being around him? Was it hard? Were you nervous at all?
Dude, yes. I'm at John Diago's house. I'm already on stereo. They're like, Jason's coming. Jason's going to meet us. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to meet Jason Lee. This is fucking crazy. Jason walks in and Jason goes, oh, it's him? Oh, nah, dude. Not that guy. First thing he says, I'm just like this. He goes, oh, Talkin, what's up, man? Starts doing all these voices. What's up, dude? My name's Jason. All these stances and shit and fucking. And I'm just like, oh. First thing he did, though, was diss me. Oh, it's him? Nah, man. Right to John Diago, like, nah, dude, nah. Or I'm cool. Fucking amazing, dude. And then, yeah, it's just like being with your fucking hero. So I'm fanning out, but I know how to be cool with him, and I'm on his page, so I'm not like puppy dog, but I'm like, hey, remember in the video and you did the kickflip manual, kickflip out, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. That was
full Chris Farley moment, yeah,
for sure. But, when you said there was more outside your window, like, did you mean that? Like, yes. Jay Lee was fucking shit up, dude, and it was like people weren't looking at him like that no more. I remember, real quick, this happened to me, dude. This was so rad.
Yeah.
So backside 180, flip this thing's like really small, but it's a tall drop. I'm trying to backside flip it, and I'm just being a little scared punk. It's going to my feet every time, and I'm just I don't know why I keep I had a phase of that. I had to get out of that phase. I had a little scaredy cat phase. Like, damn, bro, you're kicking it away like this far from the ground. Just let gravity do its thing. Jason saw me doing that. He goes, bro. So what are you doing? Just gets on his board and backside flips it first fucking try. Dude, took me right out, and I was just like, every emotion. It was just like I wanted to hug him and flip him off at the same time. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. I was like, that just happened to me, dude. That is so sick. It's like, how dope is that? He's like, what are you doing? He's like, so frustrated for me. Like, if you bail that shit one more time, I'm going to land. Like, when you swallow for someone else and shit, like, come on, dude, get that down. You wipe your eye, you wipe your nose for someone else. You keep doing that. Like, come on, bro, get it. He did that for me. He wiped my nose for me. He backside flipped that shit.
That's so sick, dude. Those moments are like forever too. You're not going to forget that. There's some things you're going to forget, but then there's some things for sure you will not.
Like my moments I forget. Like, hey, like I'll watch footage and I'm like, I did a back Smith grind. I could do that. Like, what the fuck, man? My moments, like, but fanning out like shit. You just mentioned Salva. I saw him at an art show. I took a photo with him. I turned into the kid. Like, I started feeling guilty. He knew I fast forwarded his shit to Nice.
The vert button. Rob used to tell me it's called the vert button. You just hit fast forward.
See, I'm not the only one, dude.
Yeah, no, it was a thing.
Fortunately, and there's that rumor that Jordan Richter got edited out, and it was not. It wasn't personal, bro. It was you were on a ramp. That was it. You weren't on a ramp. If it was just your street, Jordan would have been in there, dude. It's something about street skaters back then. It was like, the BMX guy, he's cool, but that vert skater, you know what I mean?
Well, it was so foreign to any kid that was like not rich and grew up like, where are you going to learn how to ride a vert ramp? You got to know somebody that has one.
Right. And then how much are pads and like how much is everything and like, and you going to let me ride that shit? You know what I mean?
When street started hitting, it just blew up. Like there's this everything was new. You know, it's like, wait, these guys are riding on walls, 90-degree walls. How the fuck are they doing this? Like, this is crazy. This guy's flipping his board. Like, I remember seeing Hensley do the no comply flip, and I was like, that's bullshit. That did not happen. That's fucking fake.
I would call bullshit on like sequences and stuff. Because, you know, the frames
Oh,
would be
yeah.
really like, okay, how do you go from right here? And then you're all the way here. I'm like, there's no way. And then as I get into skating, I'm like, oh, yeah, there is a way. Like, there actually is a way. But yeah, I used to think this stuff was fake too. I'm like, that's fake, dude. Tony Hawk, that's a stage name. That came Tommy Guerrero. Come on, dude. You can't have these names. These guys are fake. There's like a stage is like
Tony Hawk? What?
and like Mountain, like all these group of guys.
Yeah.
With these, like this shit's staged, right? Like Hulk Hogan, like Randy Savage, like
It felt like that, like larger than life. Like, this dude's name is Satan spelled backwards? No way.
right? And you think like all this stuff, and you're just like, man, are you kidding me? This shit is this deep.
Right.
Satanic skateboarder, like you're to take over the world.
So from World, where'd you go from World?
Stereo. So World
Oh
Industry,
yeah, back to Stereo. Then from Stereo, where'd you go?
and then Stereo, what the fuck? Chocolate. Yeah.
That was it.
Off Stereo. I got kicked off Stereo because so there was board concave issues and there was communication issues and me being young issues. So I didn't know how to express and communicate my complaints of where the brand was. Me being a young dude, Adam Barcadero, like with Carol, with everyone, like on the deck, on the scene, like you guys are late, like you get the news, we're making and reporting the news. So I know in a flat tail in the nose, I see the shapes changing, see the concave changing, I see the wheels, I see the stuff. I'm watching the performance of these dudes. I'm watching what Rick Howard rides now. I'm watching what Mike Carroll rides. I'm watching what Javante rides. I'm watching what all my favorite skaters that are local and around, you know, Sheffies and whoever, what they're riding. I'm noticing flat tail, steeper nose. So I'm going, yo, our boards are fucking steep tail and flat nose. We got to change this shit, bro. We got to be up. I'm not realizing that I'm fucking a complaining little bitch and a brat because I'm not thinking of it in that way. I'm not thinking that these boards are already ordered, Mike. These boards, that we have more boards ordered. We can't just snap with a finger change shit. I'm a dumbass kid. I don't know business or anything like that. So I'm going, these boards suck, dude. The concaves are whack. Look at these boards. These are what everyone's riding. I see what everyone's skating. No one's riding real boards anymore. No one's riding the stereo boards anymore. Everyone's riding those. Everyone's riding that. You know what I mean? Where before everyone was riding it. You would see Carol on a fucking Matt Rodriguez. You would see fucking people riding those boards like other people. So I hated the boards. The boards were gross. So I didn't want to ride those boards either. Carol's giving me boards. I'm spray painting, stickering it up, hoping the guys don't come down because I know that it's a shitty thing I'm doing, but I'm still a dumbass kid and I want to skate and I want to perform at the best I can, right? Basically, me complaining about the boards and shit, those guys were like, and then those guys are older, so they don't really care. At the time, it was like dudes like Coco Santiago on the team. Coco is not looking at the fucking concave of a deck and going, how big's the wheelbase?
Yeah.
I don't think that motherfucker gave a fuck. Give that man a skateboard. He will ride that shit.
Yeah, he isn't fucking
So there
gnarly.
was a lot of dudes in there that wasn't really tripping on like specs yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, and I was tripping on specs. I was like, bro, that little eighth of an inch matters. Well, Solomon will get on that board and fuck shit up. And I'm like, I know, but he's a fucking Solomon fucking a guy, like a hero, a fucking, like, no one skates like that dude. Of course, Coco can get on that board. No one skates like that dude. That dude's gnarly as fuck. You know what I mean? But regular folk, we gonna need some flat in the tail, bro, dangling out. You know what I mean? And there's stuff that I don't know if they noticed, but I didn't know how to express it to them in a mature way to be like, let's grow, let me help you. I'm up there going, these boards fucking talking.
So were you without a board sponsor in between Stereo or Chocolate? Like,
yeah, but I was on Chocolate. Like I literally, and it was crazy because
Chocolate was already started?
Yeah, Chocolate was already started. So
okay.
And I'm like best friends at this time every day. I'm with Ben and Shamil and Eris and all my friends, the guys were affiliated with that. Yeah, me being on, them not telling me, and them like enjoying watching me sweat and talking about how we're gonna go on tour and we'll send you a postcard. And
oh shit. They just continued the fucking smart intellect to fucking bust your balls.
Yeah, busting my balls till the tour, till the day of the tour.
Wow. Were you did you overhear some discussions before those dudes left Plan B and were going to start the whole thing? Like, were you aware it was coming?
Check out. Okay, so this happened, dude. This happened.
Okay.
Mike Carroll and Rick Howard can tell you this happened. And I think Rodney Mullen might have been there too. I'm at the Back to the City contest. Me and Carroll are tight. At this point, it's the Mike and Mike. Like, we're tight. I already know Mike Janowski through H Street days and him coming down, and he would give me like the new Sal Barbier before it came out. You know what I mean? Like, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, not sponsored or nothing, but like when he's in town and I'm there, and now Mike Carroll's little homie and I skate, and he could bless me. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah.
Right.
That shit. So I'm with Carroll. I'm rolling with Carroll, dude. And he says, come stay at the hotel with me. I call my mom. Can I spend the night? Yeah. So I'm with Carroll. I'm spending the night at the hotel. Wake up in the morning and Rick's there, and Rick comes over or whatever. And then we go to a hotel room and knock on the door. They're wearing the girl shirts already. I knew that they were doing girl. So they had the girl shirts on, white with blue girl logo on it. Doesn't say girl or nothing. They just have them.
Right.
Rick and Mike, and they talking amongst themselves. Now we're walking to another hotel room. Open the door. Fucking Mike Janowski and Rodney Mullen, I think. I want to say Mullen and Janowski were there. Maybe not Rodney. Twin beds. Janowski's right here. Rick and Mike right here. I'm in the like little chair in the corner. They're talking about that fucking situation. Why am I in the room? Why there? Why? I'm just like this. Holy shit. Listening to this shit go down, bro. And like them saying, yup, explaining it. Hearing Megan Baltimore's name, hearing things that I'm going, oh my God, why am I here, dude? And I know Mike T, and I'm looking at Mike like he'll look over at me. I'm like, I don't even want to look at him and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I'm on stereo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, now you're backup.
Fuck, dude. That one was an uncomfortable one, bro.
Fuck.
But everyone was cool. It wasn't like no drama in there. It was discussions. I was like, when I look back at it, I was actually impressed on the way they did it. They like handled that pretty someone told them, don't just surprise him at the contest. You better talk to him. You owe him that much respect to at least tell him. But then if you notice back to the city contest, everybody had that shit on and kind of like, hey, new wave coming.
Dude, that's how it was back in the day. It seemed like that's how Slap opened up too. Like you went to EMB and everyone had Slap shirts on. And you're like, what the fuck is Slap? It just said Slap. That was it. Yeah. That's what I remember for the first time seeing Slap. I was like, whoa.
Lance gave all of us a chance, and Lance like saw the skateboard talent versus like the popular guy and made us popular guys. Like my first picture in the magazine was in the first Slap. I couldn't believe it. I remember and it's in a style article with like Ron Chapman and like all these rad ass dudes that I look up to, like in there. And I'm in that article doing a little tail slide shit. And I'm looking at this shit like, what the meat? What? This is unbelievable. He told me the first Slap was a flyer and that picture was on there.
Damn.
Damn, bro. Really? Like I was a nobody. Like that was like, those guys just giving me real stuff. I'm wearing Airwalk Enigmas, bro. I have Airwalk Enigmas doing a back tail slide at RSF in Berkeley.
Wow.
So that's pretty dated. The blue and the gray black ones.
You're kind of a dude that like is pretty critical of your gear, right? Are you like when you look at your footage, are you checking out your gear? Like,
You know what? That's so crazy because I not really, not
No?
really. You know, if anything, it's like I wear like crazy shit, like so because I see it like people trip on it. So I like, all right, I'm gonna wear these pants with dogs all over them, dog print pants and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a way for me to throw my nuts around a little bit. Like, yeah, I can wear these dog pants, motherfucker. Like, you can't, I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people scared to do shit like that. I'm not. And I like clothes and shit like that. So, you know, and I got a lot of different styles. So when it's hot out here, I'm in my permanent vacation mode, and that'll be like board shorts, like, but I'm never in the water. You know what I mean? No socks or low socks and shit, and just like a t-shirt, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
chilling. I love it.
just fuck around. I don't really be getting too dolled up now.
So is chocolate kind of, would you consider that your first video part, like full length? Like you had tricks in other videos, 411 probably, and FTC and stuff like that.
I think that kind of hurt me, but I used to do that on purpose back then. Is I used to just film for the chocolate videos. I did nothing else. I used to like whatever footage like would be in a video or something would be like shit I didn't want in my part. Or if people would ask me, hey, would you want to film a line? Would you want to film that if I was skating or something? Because it's weird, dude. Like, even though I had fun doing it, there was a moment where like I was skating just to learn tricks, just to film them, just to fucking make video parts. I wasn't skating fun like now, like where I don't care what I'm doing. Like I just say enjoy it and like, yes, 58 slappy crooks. Like, yep, that's what I'm doing. I don't care. Don't look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but back then it was like, learn a trick, film it, got the clip, next move. And the whole time it was like my video part, my part. Okay, I got this, I got that. I need one of these. I need a spot like this. I need a trick like this. Like, you know, I'd always be planning shit. Or, you know, I would like love shooting photos too. Like that was, I think I really got, like, I was really blessed to be in skateboarding at that time. Like a lot of people, like money wise, I think we fucked up. We didn't have like a good guidance to like do our own companies and shit, but it took us to fuck up for this next generation to be doing that. So they gotta love us for that fuck up.
Yeah.
But we held that skateboard shit down though. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Like certain tricks were illegal. You were judged off of a trick you did back then. You know what I mean? Like if you did it 90s, early 2000s, it's like, bro, you was in a category, right? We put you in a category. You were goofy, we put you right there. Boom. You know what I mean? He was with Simon Woodstock, right? It's serious, dude. It was crazy. Where now it's like everything's open, which it should be, but everything was clicky. It wasn't skateboarding, it was the times. Everything had rules, any culture you're in, you had to follow those rules and then be accepted by the higher ups. You know what I'm saying?
But then pretty soon when your boss is your peer, it's much different than when your boss is this dude that's like an older guy, business guy. Like you're not on the same level, but when it's like, I don't know, like Mike and Rick, you're like, fuck, we've been skating together I can have a talk with you.
Right. Yeah.
What was the pressure like though? I mean, you guys put out, obviously, like with Spike Jones involved in everything, like those videos are fucking gnarly. And then Ty Evans getting involved, like that's gnarly. Like those level of production.
I was nervous because I'm like, bro, you just came off of filming Chad fucking Muska, bro. I'm a low impact dude. You gotta be bored as fuck with me.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, all I do is move the camera like that. 3 stairs is all I get, York. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you're no stiff neck with me, bro. You're just. I was nervous. I'm like, oh, but he was rad. He was like, he didn't care that that was sometimes issue with me is my style of skateboarding. You know, some people would say, oh, well, I'm looking for the guy that's going to go down the handrail or this and that. You know what I mean? So it was like, sort of like, you know, at the time I was pigeonholing myself. And then I was like stubborn too. So like tight pants are out, I baggy my pants up even more. You know what I mean? The opposite. Like whatever, I'd go on slap message board, whatever trick they didn't like, I'd learn it switch. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'm about to be a troll on you motherfuckers. And that's what started happening, dude.
I love that. That's
Troll just
amazing.
to like where I am now.
Is one of those video parts like the one that you hold the most pride in? Like, do you have a favorite video part of your own?
They're all different in a different way. I'm stoked on my mouse part because it was like I was skating every day with my friends with zero expectations. I didn't know what anyone else was doing. And we would just kind of like, we all would get clips. And it was just like, we all would skate together. It'd be like me, Ben, Shamil, whoever else. And then it'd be like guys, what was cool is I would be with guys that were sponsored by different companies, but we're all filming for a video. So we would all skate together, film with the same filmer. It wasn't like just the Dickie team. It would be, you know, girl guys, the chocolate guys, the fucking, you know, the fucking almost guys, the menace guys, whoever, all film with one filmer, and dude would give you his clip and this clip, and it was cool. Like I didn't feel like it was competition in a way of like who could do that, the new shit kind of for yourself, your new shit, not the new shit, but like, damn, like, you know, like Henry did that manual trick there. It's like, fuck, dude, got to step the bar up now. We got to, you know what I mean, to keep up now. So that was kind of like our motive, I think. It was just like stepping up the bar. When I got into skateboarding, guys that I watched skate, I mimicked them, right? I mimicked Nodis. I learned at the tail side. I learned as much as I could mimic from him and I could get. And the gods, I tried to mimic that, learn his tricks and this trick and that trick. And so skateboard videos, that's the point. We watch it, right? Some guy does a trick. Oh, that was sick. Everybody's doing it now, right? It becomes trendy. You know, when dude no comply knows we'll eat the fucking table, everybody's no comply. Oh my God, I got to learn. You know what I mean? It was like, that's awesome. I love that about skating. See, people can hate on that. Oh, that's weak. I'm like, what's weak about that? That's amazing that like you could do that with skateboarding. And so, you know, I think that with skateboarding in the place it is now versus back then, like as far as cultures and shit like that, it's like you could be Simon Woodstock and have a shoe on Etnies, but back then you couldn't have no fuck no, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, once skateboarding got popular, it was open to everybody. And then, you know, with the new everything, it's like everybody is sensitive and nobody wants to, like you said, like the stuff that was happening at EMB, it was kind of out of love. It was like anything else, like to be a part of the club. We're going to push your button. I'll push yours. You push mine. If you're like too sensitive to it and leave, you ain't made for our clique. Like that's it.
What it is.
I trip out on this stuff, like all this stuff. There's so much stuff, and it almost went overboard. Like
it did, because people are bringing up stuff from the past, you know, and it's like the time was different then. So it's like, are you going to cancel Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he says some raw shit in there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, have you ever watched an 80s horror movie?
Yeah.
Like they're going to, you've ever saw Purple Rain? Dude calls him a full blown, like, you faggot, like talking shit to Prince, like calling him all kind of shit. So much crazy stuff that I guess would get you, you know, canceled these days was around us then. And I think people weren't taking it so sensitive as a group. I think people took things personal if it was said to you back then. That's why people used to get beat up back in the day more. People used to it was you. You said that shit to me. So now we have an issue. Not you said a word and I'm a part of a group and I'm going to defend us, which is cool too. I'm not mad at nobody for nothing.
The only thing I'm mad at is the anonymous animosity. When you're Indy 169 and you don't identify who you are and you try to ruin someone's life, dude, this is someone's life. And you're Indy 169 in your mom's basement with fucking lube and like anger management classes and all your bullshit. It's like everybody thinks their voice is so important, but we're the old guys and we can't go there, you know?
You know, people are people and we fuck up and, you know, you learn from your mistakes. If you're not willing to accept and make mistakes, like if you're perfect and Mr. Perfect and shit, I bet you got a lot of fucking issues going on.
Right.
The most of my growing has come from fucking up. and feeling shitty about that situation.
Yeah.
And why I don't do those situations. I needed to go through shit like that, or needed to be involved in things that I don't want to be involved in anymore. And so you learn from your mistakes. That's what experience is. That's a fancy word for fucking up. 17 years experience on the field. Now I've been fucking up for 17 years and still got a goddamn job, is what they mean.
No, totally. I wish that they would like utilize the error to educate. Like, okay, this person fucked up. We're going to educate this person what it was wrong. And it's like you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking. And then 20 years later, someone's like, you used to be an alcoholic. It's like, used to.
Fuck you. It was so rude to me when you were drunk and an alcoholic. And now you're not.
I'm like, sorry, dude. I made my amends.
Yeah, that's crazy. I do think that there's different ways to approach stuff.
You mentioned the mouse video a little bit ago, and a lot of people don't know, but the song you used, Ron Allen was involved, yeah?
Yeah, Ron Allen, my man Knack One, and my man Giggs, Rosario, and Brian. These dudes were graffiti artists and rappers and shit. And they lived in Oakland, and Ron was around those guys. The guy, Brian, got me into skateboarding.
Oh, so that's that guy.
No, there was a different dude.
Oh, okay.
This dude basically was the guy that was like, saw those dudes, and then he was the first guy that was a skater. So he was the first guy to put me on, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
This dude, he was already, I remember he had a fucking, he had a Tom Groholski board, dude, with like a skeleton or something on it, like something like a squiggly thing. Something like that. Some sort of vision board, right? It was like that. Yeah, I totally remember that board. And then he could wall ride the ramp. And so I remember like he was like younger, and that dude would talk to me. So that's crazy. So he got into graffiti and hip hop after that. So I ended up connecting with him later. So it was crazy because then he saw me and was like, holy shit, you're fucking doing it, bro. Like if I would have skated with you, I would have been doing that, huh? And I said, you would have probably been a pro by now. You know, I was tired, dude. Like if you would have got exposure back then, they would have loved you. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, like hometown hero.
Yeah.
Like that dude. So they made music. I would go kick it over there, and it was cool because I would skate in the Bay Area in San Francisco and do all my peer stuff or whatever. Then I'd go across the bridge to the East Bay and kick it with that group. So I would be with skaters. Then I'd be with like musicians, dudes, older like dudes who used to skate, but no skaters. So my whole crowd was different. So it was cool because I was like more of like, who's that? Instead of, oh, this was York. Like, ugh. Like I feel goofy in that situation sometimes back then. So it made me feel cooler to be the why is he here guy instead of like, who is that? Like no one jocked me, no one gave a fuck because I'm around musician people, graffiti artists, rappers. So if I didn't do any, and they were freestyle battle rapper kind of dudes. So if I didn't freestyle battle, I was just like the homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just the guy on the couch, like, kicking it. I was cool, but it was like, oh, he skates, he does something else.
Right.
So I was able to be around there, and these dudes would perform, and they do with turntables, and they had drums. So it would always be music and fun shit going on there. The fools would be drinking and smoking weed and shit like that shit I was into. After skating, I'm home, I'm on this side. So I'm like out, and it was like super cool. So these dudes came and said, yo, like, I said, dude, why don't you guys make a song for me? I was like, I'm making a video right now. I was like, I'm going to use this. I was like, I got a Bob James song I'm going to use because Ghostface had just dropped his album, and it had the dun 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 dun. That, so there I had graffiti and DJ homies. So they knew all the albums and samples. So he's like, bro, you're going to freak it. I got the sample to that. It's this record right here. He played the song for me. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's that? He goes, yeah. He goes, use this for your video part. I'm like, I'm using that shit, dude. So that was going to be my part. I was like, oh, my God, they're going to fucking rip in this video, bro. That song is too fucking sick. And it wasn't like common back then. It wasn't like put it on Instagram. It was like
Right.
back then DJs would like cover the fucking album to not let you know what the fuck it was, so you can look and see what record's that. They wouldn't either. Shit would be on it. It's the blue record. That's all you don't know what it is. So he was playing this, so I'm like, dude, like, and then I'm telling them, man, why don't y'all play? I was like, you guys are fucking sick. I was like, why don't y'all make a song for me? I'll put it on my video. I was like, do you know what fucking Plan B did for fucking like hieroglyphics, bro? I was like, every skateboarder was there was at least probably 80% skateboarders at the early hieroglyphic shows.
For sure.
Yeah. They heard Mike Carroll's song, they went crazy. They heard this song, they went crazy. Sheffy's song, whatever.
Yeah.
All that hiero shit, bro. I'm like, let me put y'all, since you're my friends, in the video. And y'all, because they looked like they were going to be doing that. I thought they were going to be doing that. So I'm like, why don't I do that for you guys? And we'll put it in a video. Hella people will see it and be like, oh, what's that song? Right? Get hella exposure. So they're like, all right. So all of them do it. They make a beat. They rap on it. They give me the shit on a DAT tape, bro.
Oh.
DAT tape. That's why it sounds so crazy in the video. It wasn't even burned on a CD or nothing. They gave me a fucking DAT tape. That means they recorded it off of another reel. So this is like some straight old school shit.
Yeah,
so,
it's like raw.
Yeah. So when we're editing the video and I go to Girl, you know, and then Eris is the reason that the video has the best music in the world is because of Eris Volkis, R.I.P. to King Syra, man. He was a DJ and he was the one that was able to find all the samples and was getting in all the funk shit and everything too. So he was putting me on to like going past hip hop, like, oh, this song. So he's like, bro, I'm just going to make you a mixtape of all these dope songs. You bring it down to LA with you, play them. And then y'all can go to the store. I'll write everything out. Whatever you like, you just go to the store, Tower Records, buy the CD. You have the music. So that's how the Mouse Video music is fucking excellent. That's who did it, dude. That's who did it. Like, so I'm bringing that tape over to Rick. I'm giving it to Rick. Bam, here's music, bro. Like, it's, you know what I mean? So all these songs are on there. Guy Mariano's songs on there. All the songs are on there, okay? Because Guy didn't have that song. He had a Megadeth, Metallica, something. He had some Henry shit going on at first.
Oh, okay.
And then that song came, okay? So, you know, this shit was a big deal. Eris made a big impact with that music. You know what I mean? A lot of that style of music. So I get that song. We play it. I'm in there with Richard Mulder. We're watching the footage and stuff. So Richard's like, you're not using that song? And I was like, nah, I'm going to use this song instead. He said, I'm taking that song. I was like, use it. So if you look, Richard has the Nautilus song. And Richard's song is the down in the video. And that was supposed to be, that was like, and I just said, nah. And Richard was like, all right, I'm taking that. It went so dope with his part. That part is like so dope. Right? Richard Mulder is a legend. Like his skating is unbelievable. You know what I mean? So we made that song. They never put it out. They never did anything. So it's been a mystery. I get hit up all the time.
Dude.
What is that? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know where to get it. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know the name of the group. I don't know nothing. I want to say it's FSC, but I don't know if that's the name of the group with Ron in it. I don't know, because that's their graffiti crew. I don't know if Ron's in their graffiti crew. You know what I mean? It gets all tangled up. So I'm like, oh, it's just a mystery, dude. But like,
I got to hit up Ron.
Yeah, you got to ask Ron what the fuck is up with it.
Okay. Because everybody on YouTube, I was watching that part before we did this interview, and under the comments, most of the comments are like, dude, that song, what is it? Who does anyone know? Like, you know.
No, the only way you could fuck with that song is by getting on my part.
that's kind of cool.
Record it, and you don't got to watch my part no more. But the only way to check that out is by having that part. And we didn't plan any of that, but I love stuff like that. I think it's cool. I'm like, wow, that's cool that happened. Like, you know, it's just a silly thing, but it's cool. And then it was rad that Ron said my name in the song. Like, I was tripping. Like, I was bugging out on just them. I said, you guys made a fucking song for it? Like, I was already like tripping. Then at the end, when he dedicated this shit to me, I said, oh my God. And then I had enough footage did you see how the song fit? perfect. I didn't like go out and have to film 4 more things or something. That shit just worked the fuck out.
Oh yeah, so that's when it's magic.
As soon as I did the front crook fakie, I'm rolling out it, say dedicated to Mike York, and just slap. Like, bro, ow. How did you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like, I have 3 minutes and 20 seconds of footage, guys. Make my song that long. They just made it. It was just, you know, when shit's meant to be is meant to be. It works. It works out. It should work out smooth like that.
Yeah.
It was dope.
And the hot chocolate video, skating to Nicotina, that's just fucking forever. Like Nicotina for us.
I wish a better Nicotina song though. I never did know. I wasn't into no yayo or none of that, man. That was older dude shit, man. You know?
Yeah, but it's still the anthem.
You know, yeah, but I was like, man, I could have picked a better one. They kind of didn't ask me. I think they asked me about who, like, what kind of song, and I'm like, oh, I got a Nicotina song, and you know, and they threw that on there. So I don't know, man. And it's just weird because I'm like, bro, the yayo song out of all of them, bro. I don't even do that shit. I got young energy, man. I'm skinny. I'm big. My metabolism's fast.
Right.
I'm like, drugs. If I was, I would be done, bro. Wouldn't I have been already done? Yeah, dude. Unless I'm just like the healthiest fucking drug addict in the world. Like, I don't know. What is it? Like, you know?
Well, that part, like you had the knee brace on and you get, it stops on that.
Okay, that part was crazy, man. Editing is funny, dude, because they made that shit look like I was done.
Right.
I was tripping out. Like, you know what is funny? This goes back to Ron Allen. Ron Allen called me up and went, "You okay?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "They're getting rid of you, bro." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "They're getting rid of you, bro. What happened?" And I had spoke to Ron in a long time. And I'm in LA. Ron saw the video and called me and told me that. Ron Allen, real one, bro. That's why people don't like Ron Allen sometimes. That's why people don't like me sometimes. And you know what? We're okay with it. Because he told me the real shit. He said, "Bro, they're about to get rid of you, bro." He told me that from the Bay Area. Just seeing the video. He go, "You got your name on the box of that video." A quote from you too, bro. Because I see through that shit. And I went, what? I'm up here almost getting bummed at Ron listening to that. Okay? Not my dogs. Not my squad. Not my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa. I don't know, man. I'm just hurt. Da-da-da. You know what I mean? So the editing looked crazy because I got hurt, went home on the tour, MRI. Nothing was torn. Doctor said, "Oh, you have a sprain. You'll be fine." Called Rick. Rick's like, "Come back on the tour." I'm like, "All right, I can come back on the tour and just be hurt." And he goes, "Dude, come on." So obviously, why am I invited back if I'm like the worst dude in the world to be around, right? If I stink real bad and I'm like the worst attitude and I'm already off the tour, like you invited me back just to smell bad. And you know what I mean? Like,
you're right.
I was making it fun on tour. People was like, "Bring York back. He's fun, even with a hurt leg. Like, it makes it fun." So I'm like, I want to be there. I'd rather be hurt on tour than hurt at home. Fuck it. Like, you know, so I'm there with like a fucking ice on my knee, trying to, you know, chilling with everybody, and we're hanging and having fun, and you know, the whole thing. I get home. We're still filming for the video. I get home. I do rehab at my house by myself. I get back on the skateboard, film the manual, front 180 fakie manual, get that clip after I hurt my knee, after me laying there and shit in the jersey. If you notice, the footage, I'm staying off my right leg. So I do the manual, kickflip manual. I stay off the leg. I was good enough to just be able to be hurt and wing it. And it hurt to bend. So kickflip straight. So I'm just being smart. Fuck it, I can do this. I mean, get clips. I wanted to make it look like I got hurt, but I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I thought that's what we was going to do. At the same time, I'm thinking I'm about to get on Nike. I'm like about to get on Nike. Me, Donnie Barley, like me and Donnie Barley are like at Nike. So we're looking at each other like we're getting on Nike with a bunch of other people. So we're thinking we're the new addition to Nike, which was going to be sick. So anyway, side note. So I'm thinking, oh, this is great. This is going to be that Nike kind of Oh, he got hurt. He fighting. He coming back. Total campaign. I'm thinking, oh shit, I got the campaign. I'm the living campaign right now. Put your dice on me. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. I got this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I'm getting footage. I'm still getting clips. Like, can't stop Yorkatron. Yeah, I'm still getting clips, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're still getting manual tricks on like a legit manual too. Manual front 180 fakie manual. Stayed off the leg, landed it, boom. Got off the board and limped my ass. You know what I mean? With the brace and bullshit. Did that fucking demo at Wallenberg with the fucking brace and shit like that. And my leg, I shouldn't even have been skateboarding. My fucking a toothpick. My leg could not wobble like side to side. Like it was like, I should not have been skateboarding, but I was cursed with like being able to land shit. Hurt, like that hurt. I was like, whoa, I can big flip. I can do this. I can do that. You know what I mean? Cause it's just like in my head. So I'm out there thinking everything is going to be looking that way. And I guess they looked at it as up. You hurt your knee once, up, sprained your knee again, you're done. And you're getting older. And then that was kind of that thing too. It was like, now age ain't nothing but a number type thing. You could be whatever. You know, you could be hella old and rip and no one cares, or hella little. But back then it was like, oh, they're still putting like a date on shit. You had an expiration date. I was still in the expiration date skateboarding phase.
So did that happen right as the video came out?
Like, yeah, kind of. I noticed change. I noticed it got colder. I wasn't invited to everything. You know, my phone calls weren't picked up. They weren't there anymore. You know, I wasn't invited to skate sessions. If I was filming, it was with my filmer, not with whoever they were all with, where it used to be that way. So as I'm picking up signs, it would be like that. Like, actually, it was crazy. Like, one time it was like a party or something was going on, and it was somewhere close to my pad, and Daniel told me about it, and I ended up going, and I don't think certain people thought I was going to be there, and was like, oh shit, it was super weird. And they like, they didn't know me. And I went, oh, okay, Ron Allen knows something I don't. And then from there, like, yeah, and that was that, you know. And I wasn't done. I was like, just like all psyched on like getting my knee back. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this timing sucks, dude. And then back then, it was definitely my fault. Like, Mike and Rick could do no wrong. So, and then if I talked about it upset, I'm bitter because the chips aren't in my favor. But you know what I mean? But if I told the truth, it's like, no, you're bitter, you're talking shit. And it's like, no, that did happen to me. You know what I mean? It did work like that. Like, I wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Damn.
But that was just how it was, though. A lot of people did that, though. It wasn't like I was the only guy to get that treatment like that. And sometimes we're all young, and you know, I don't hold any. I'm not mad at any of them dudes at all. I think that's a very, very awkward, difficult place to be, to have to tell your friend, like, you know, yeah, I can't fuck with you no more. Like, that's rough. Like, so, you know, I don't expect someone to do it with a way to be so graceful at that time.
It's funny because we grew up with this thing that's our passion, so we would do it anyway. But at the point where you actually make it your job, you never thought, because it was so fun and it was just what it was, you never thought you would hear someone say it's only business.
Yeah. When I was doing my brand, I kind of gave the guys that I was giving boards to a realistic outlook on what was going on and what to expect and what to do. And I told every one of my riders, if and when you get a better offer and someone sees you, you give me a phone call and let me know. And that's all you got to do, is just say, yo, these guys want me to ride for them, bro. I'm going to say, go fucking do that shit. Get paid. Get fucking out there. Go live your fucking dream. Because I only can do what I'm doing right now for you. And you deserve more. I had a guy named Spencer, and he was on Roller Horror. And I didn't even want to turn anyone pro. I turned him pro. He ended up calling me and going, dude, Powell wants me to ride for him, dude. And they're going to eventually turn me pro. And I go, dude, go get your fucking Bones Brigade on, bro. Go get fucking paid. Go on tour. Go fucking do that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't take that shit personal. and we was like cool and had boom. And I wasn't like, oh fuck, you know, because I let him know already how it fucking is. So that's what I'm telling those guys. So I don't know. I feel like when changes in the brand happen, I feel like there needs to be people who can sit down and talk with you. Because I thought that I would be working at Girl, like in the back and shit. Like I didn't know that they would be like a fucking, I'm not fucking with you. I was thinking like, oh shit, they're gonna retire me. I'm gonna be the like fucking brand, the back manager and shit. You know, I'm gonna learn how to do that shit and, you know, be getting the new dudes boards, putting me here, you know, something like that.
Right.
I don't, you know, have my back, at least know that like I'm not like just kicked out and I don't know nothing. Cause that was a hard little transition. It's like, that's how skateboarding was back then. Like, I think now maybe it's different because I think the teams are more like, you're a coworker versus back then we was all like friends, like buddy, like we doing shit off the board. Like,
no, you were on stage at Bottom of the Hill for Skater of the Year.
Yeah, that was sick.
Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I mean. I love Mike, and I don't know if you guys are friends again or whatever.
All them dudes. I have no problem with nobody. You know what I mean? Like I've moved on from that so long. Like my son is in high school. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I definitely moved the fuck on from that shit. I ain't mad at no one. And like I said earlier, I think we were young and dealing with situations that were hard that probably would take some goddamn therapy or a talk with a professional to like really be able to get through. So like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is what it is.
So when you started doing your brand, like, did you see a lot of things that opened your eyes too? Like learning stuff through.
I learned a lot about more of, just dealing with different personalities, dealing with different type of skateboarders. There was a time where like when I stopped doing the brand is because it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't because I wasn't making money. I got good at that. I actually like had like good accounts and I had like a lot of stuff. And then COVID helped me because, you know.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
All of us. You know, everyone, I capitalized on that. I was one of those guys. You know, I'm probably one of those companies that's involved in when everyone talks shit about them small companies came in. I'm definitely in that group. Definitely.
It was definitely skate shop's best years.
Yeah, they loved me. They loved us.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I was still kicking, like, and it was working and they were selling the boards and shit was moving. And so it got unfun. Is that a word, unfun? Well, I'm going to say it today. It was unfun because I started dealing with just people that were just bullshit and just didn't care about, like I said, the specs, like a fucking eighth of an inch or move this here or, you know, give a shit ollie flip. I care about an ollie flip still. I may not be able to do it as well as I could. I got maybe 2 out of 10, but, you know, I still care about it. So I know that I'm not going to lose that like the business where I don't know my concave sucks. I'm not doing that. A dude would rather steal $200 from you once than make $50,000 with you, you know, a bunch of times. And I don't understand that. So that was what was happening. And it's a monster company. You know, monsters come back to life. The hand comes back out the ground, part 2. You know, Michael Myers gets up. So, you know, it is roller horror. We're not dead yet. And who knows what I'm doing, man? I got all kinds of things happening with skateboarding.
And you're a dad, right? You got 2 kids?
Yeah. Olivia and Jacob. Those my little. They're big.
What's that entail? You're waking up early, taking them to school in the mornings, and then
I take one to school now because my son started high school, so he gets a ride with his friend.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's on the high school basketball team, the freshman basketball team. Probably get varsity. I know it. He's good. He's a baller.
Rad, dude.
He's a real good basketball player. My daughter plays basketball. She's pretty good. I could have been. Man, I hope I didn't fuck up. Because I was looking at, I'm like, damn, dude, like, is that in our blood right there? Because they're just shifty and my son's pretty good. I thought it was beginner's luck at first when he was like little, but it's like the little phenomenal skateboarder kid that just keeps getting the little Ryan Sheckler. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All of a sudden, that guy you used to make fun of is the best.
Yeah. Like but he was the best even when you were making fun of him. Cause
yeah, exactly.
Fun of him, but not in a bad way. But you're like laughing, and like that dude skates like a grown ass man, and he hasn't even like, you know what I mean, kissed a girl.
What's the Push Academy?
Yeah, that's I'm with my man Sean, and I'm out here in Santa Clarita, and I started basically working with him with a little skate school. I've been wanting to do it for a while. And I didn't really have like the proper like you know, like the clientele, like I didn't know how to like reach the parents to know who the fuck I was to care about even wanting them to want to skate with me. You know, I'm like, that's gonna be the part that's hard. Everything else is easy, but it's gonna be the like, how do I build this up?
Right.
Creep, like I don't know if my style is going to be walking up to parents at the skate park sitting there, oh parent, hey, you want skate lessons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. So this dude already basically had it locked down. He's already working with the city of Santa Clarita and all that. So I'm like, so he comes up to me, or a friend of ours, my man Chaden, he is like, bro, this dude was asking to see if you wanted to do something with skate lessons and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you know, because Chaden heard me talking about it. So he's like, let me link you with this dude. So I ended up, long story short, I linked with the dude, end up like crushing this. You know what I mean? Like crushing it. Like I didn't realize how much this gave back to me at my age and where I am and how I am and my way my mind is. And it's absolutely like the best job in the world. Like, it's great. And it's like the style. I've had parents come up to me and say, how long have you been doing this for? And I'll be like, maybe like 6-7 months. They're like, what? He's like, I'm a fucking teacher. It's like, you got it, bro. Like, blah, blah, blah. So like me having kids, my patience with kids is there. Me understanding skateboarding and loving skateboarding, you know what I mean? And being good at fucking skateboarding it's like the reason I'm good at it is because I use my technique to build my confidence, to be consistent, to be doing that trick a lot. So people will say, oh, that dude does that trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Curry knows how to let the ball go and where to grab it. Why he's confident to shoot the ball right in front of a fucking dude 2 fucking inches away from him. Bam, it's going in. I practice this. This is what I do. I'm not nervous. This is what I do. To see kids go from one to the other. And everyone has their own teaching style. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of more of an advanced teacher. I don't want to touch you. I'll hold your hand if you're like a baby, but I don't want to touch you. I want you to know how to ride a skateboard. And no one touched me. Like I don't see Nigel Houston having a dude underneath him holding his hand at the X Games while he goes down the ramp.
Right.
So we're eliminating a lot of that. That's what I'm doing. I'm just like, bro, like if I can eliminate like 47 hippers and 38 swelbos and have you learning the transition a little early and understanding it, you might take this little rubber band body and, you know, turn it to the phenomenal right there. But I've taught like grown-ups how to kickflip. Like my man Sean had a kid and he was teaching him how to kickflip and the kid was flipping it and he couldn't land it. And then Sean ended up going, yo, would you teach that kid? I'm going to go to a concert to do something. I forgot what he said, or sick, or I forgot. And then, yeah, we got it. I put him, there was the kid, he was on my Instagram, the last kid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Alex.
That's got to be an insane feeling though, right? Like you share that moment with that kid and that kid is beyond hyped. Like your first kickflip means a lot.
Right. It's big.
And
like,
so you're a part of that. Like it's just continuing this venture as you would. Like it used to be your peers. Now you're the older guy.
It's amazing. And the best part is no one knows me, dude. They find out later.
Oh.
That's the fucking part.
Rad.
They find out later, dude. They go, I didn't know you were there. I didn't do that. And I go, yeah. And then they go, oh, wow. And then because I did that, then the parents now get to go, he's a pro skateboarder. He had to cover of Thrasher magazine. He's on, you should Google his name. Blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, all of a sudden, all the taboo shit I'm not supposed to talk about in skateboarding, the skateboarders, I can brag my ass off to these fucking PTA, like to them, you know, because they're not in skateboarding. So I can tell the new clients, you know, the parents, like, yeah, I've been to cover Thrasher. I was on the hottest brands. I went on tour. I've been to the Eiffel Tower of skateboarding. I've done this, you know, stupid shit that, like, you know, I'd get like eaten alive on slap message board for saying, but like to the parents, it's my selling point. You can learn a jump shot from Backyard Willie, or you can learn a jump shot from the dude who was in the NBA. Your choice, you know?
Right, exactly.
That's how I present. I go, ooh, like you know, my 30 plus years of skateboard experience, actually, I have somewhere to do it now. Like I have a couple of special kids that maybe we hang more than we learn tricks. So I know that what I'm doing is bigger than lean back, hit the tail. It's mentorship. It's giving them confidence. It's letting them know. It's letting these kids tell themselves to be proud of themselves early, bro. Instead of talking negative, I can't do this. And I say, yet. You keep forgetting yet. When you fuck with me, you can't do it yet. Where I'm at. And I'm letting these guys know it. I teach kids, boys, girls, whoever, you know, whoever wants to skate, men, ladies, it doesn't matter. And the Santa Clarita skate park is where I do most of my lessons at.
Okay.
And just in Santa Clarita right now, but like, you know, eventually I want to blow something up and have something big, you know what I mean? And this is the opportunity to give back to skateboarding, like in a real way. And anyone who ever really skated with me knows that I'll tell you to lean back or put your foot like this or da-da-dee-dee. I always been like that. I've always been a technical break it down. And Keenan Milton is the one who told me that. Keenan showed me that. And he said, this is how you become consistent. This is how you become good. You know what the fuck you're doing. You don't just huck it. I used to huck it. A lot of dudes huck it, you know? And he goes, no, you know, huck it, bro. You know what the fuck you're doing from start to finish. You figure out every piece. That's how you know what you're doing. And you watch the way he skates. Yeah, he skates like that. You watch Keenan switch flip tables, bro. He's not hucking. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, it's a legend. Fuck yeah.
Right? So once he put that in my head, I said, oh shit, I started skating different. Keenan made me a better skateboarder, 100%.
Have you seen this old ledge, the Thrasher? They've got a new series.
Yeah, and I was included in that one. I was like, oh my God, there I am. That was really nice. I was like psyched on that, man. That was cool to remember us and remember that, you know.
What do you think? Let's give an over under on how many boards are in the bay right there at Pier 7. It
was like 30, 40, maybe. About 30.
I was like, somebody's got to fucking go down there and get all those.
Not hundreds, but like I threw my board in there and Carl got really bummed on me. And I got so bummed that Carl got so bummed that I never in. And I was super apologetic to Carl. It really bummed him out. And then I felt like an idiot because as soon as Carl gave me the like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why'd you do that? And I like looked at him and said, I don't know. I had a temper tantrum and I just was selfish. And I threw my board in the water and you just, you know, and it fucking bummed me out. And I felt sad and twice, you know?
Yeah.
And so I did that shit again. So don't cancel me skateboarding. And if you cancel me, so what? You wasn't fucking with me anyway. Shit. What? You're not going to buy my shoe? Who's it on? What shoe?
Are you kind of surprised at all, or do you know why that there hasn't been an EMB documentary? It seems like with all you guys and all the fucking media that, you know, the access, like.
I don't think there's any footage that anyone would be. It would kind of be like the Dogtown one, but then it would just be like questionable footage. And then like footage from like the Spitfire video. And then like footage of Brian Young at the Spitfire, you know, with Coach talking and like no Coach footage.
But if you were like, all right, you get the main guys and you interview them, but then you have LeVar's best tricks, Kelch's best tricks, your best tricks, Carol's, and it's all together in one video. It would be this pretty epic historical thing that like kids in the new generation will be like, oh, this is why EMB is the shit.
Yeah, like
because right now they're like, why'd Supreme make such a big deal out of EMB? That's weird. They're from New York. They came to SF and hyped it up. Like, why? It's like, this is why.
Yeah. Yeah. That, I mean, done correctly, it would be sick. And to homage type video, then yes, all day you can do that. But I think the reason that there's not the actual documentary is because we don't have no footage. A lot of
that hasn't been seen.
I would say Dave Sloshbach, Jake Rosenberg.
Yeah, Mesa maybe.
Mesa would have more of like our generation. Mesa would probably have like the LeVars, me, Chico. That was like the younger EMB.
What about those Russian twins?
The Russian? No, I don't. Because Russian twins wasn't filming them dudes like that. Like they were. I don't know. Like Russian twins were cool. I wasn't mad at no one, but I was also cool with everybody. Like I liked everyone. Like you had to be a dick for me not to like you. I'm still like that. You're the cool dick. That's it.
I always was embraced by certain dudes and felt a weird vibe by certain dudes. I don't need to name anybody, but like you and Rick were always cool to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that was how it was, you know? And you got to remember, like some of those dudes came up hard life. Like skateboarding was like they were gangsters, kind of like they would have been gangbanger ass motherfucking gangster ass motherfuckers if they were skate. Some of them dudes. I think that attitude, and then just it was just a skate attitude, man. It was like like R.I.P. to the Felper. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that like vibe. Like if that dude fucked with you, like you were in. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact, like that dude would laugh at dudes kissing his ass. You know, and I knew for a fact that like he would fucking joke with me. I joke right back with him. And I remember I'm at the probably one of the last ASRE, whatever
ASR,
whatever it was. There was like whatever one of the last ones, the last of the Mohican ones. You know, there's probably a couple more, and then it was like everyone was over it.
Yeah,
I had just got kicked off chocolate, and this is when Jake had just blown his knee out and just had that knee surgery. Remember?
Yeah,
like a long time ago. So we're walking. Meet, and he just looks at me and he goes, ouch, it's gotta hurt right here, like that. And I go, knee. He goes, it sucks. And I go, I feel the knee right here. Go. And it was it was beautiful. And I turn around and I go, Jake. He turns around. I go, am I still banned in Thrasher? He goes, you never were. And I go, fucking do it already. And I turn around and leave. And he's just like, I love that because everyone does the opposite to me. Kiss my ass.
No, it's the minute you step up, that's when you get the respect.
You know, and I'm like, I know that dude, I didn't even know who he was. And I'm at Studio 43 trying to learn how to fucking skate the fucking ramp. And Bryce is there, Thebo's there, Phelps is there, and I'm there with LeVar, and I'm there with John Diago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to like skate the ramp, and Phelps is just like, oh, anytime I touch that motherfucker, because I was the most fakey rock hang up fucking skating ass dude. That dude. So he let me get two off. Because I'm gonna let him go back and forth twice. I'm rolling in on him every time. and did. Rolled, intimidated. Never hit me, touched me. Just intimidated. The fuck saw how shaky I was on the ramp. And able to skate next to me fast and intimidate the fuck off me. Get off my ramp. I remember being a little kid, little hothead. I don't know who the fuck you are. Doing glasses. Yeah, you. Man, fuck you. I skate street, man. Fuck this ramp. Fuck all this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm way outside. I fucking took my temper tantrum ass and went outside and sat down. John Diago came with, and we sat out there. I'm doing kickflips outside. Fuck that. This is skating. Fuck that ramp. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And them coming out later telling me, you know who that was, right? I'm like, no. And then, I don't know. He was cool. Cool ever since, man.
Yeah.
So he appreciated the fact that I had no idea who he was and actually called him a dick, being a little kid. And then realize and being like, oh, shit. You know what I mean?
You got the cover though.
That's what I'm, dude.
Presidio, right?
So I ended up getting that photo, and then with Luke, because I go out with Luke all the time. Me and Luke, there was a point where I would just skate with Luke, and then he would just drop me off at Pier 7 and hang out at Pier 7. So it was like I was loving it, and I would tell all my pros friends to come do this with me. None of them wanted to do it. I'm like, bro, I got the formula. We go out with this guy, we get in Thrasher, and then you come back here and you kick it all day and film your clips and shit. This shit is the life, bro. This is, and he gonna get you spots that you might want to film a clip at. And he's finding all the spots. Luke will call me and go, bro, found this place. I want you to crick grind it. I say, all right, you fucking meet you at Pier. All right, hang up the phone. Fucking no, none of this. Like, meet Luke. I leave my car, get in his truck, drive me over there. Think you crick grind it? Yeah, let's go. Boom, crick grind the bar. You know, take me. I got this front side, no side for you in the city. The ledge off the stairs. You know, the one Drake did the no side pop. Front nose it. We'll get a photo of it. It'll be dope. Boom, boom. Do a photo of it. Bam. Chocolate ad. It's like it was just like that's how it come. There was a point where I'm in almost every one of them mags, dude. Like like I would just go out with if it, and then the beauty of it too was it was like I was sponsored by a lot of people. So like Fresh Jive at the time, and Fresh Jive would pay a lot for a photo. You could invoice them. You know, would take all. I say, Luke, dude, want to make $800 real quick today? Like, let's shoot a Fresh Jive ad. He's like, love you, bro. Okay, you know what I mean?
Hell
like,
yeah.
Him and Ken Goto,
Luke was sick.
Always hit them up, and then when I'm in LA, I would hit up CU Trend. Those were my guys that I would hit up and say, "Yo, let's make some money. I want to shoot this with me. Let's make some bucks." Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I made sure, like, I looked out when I did that. When I was in that position to be like a pro skater, cool guy, whatever, I tried to look as much as I could, you know? So, yeah, that was just fun, man, shooting photos and all that. And that era was the shit.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, going out and just like, oh, I found this spot. And it's so crazy because Luke would tell me, you would be like, dude, I'll just drive around San Francisco and look for shit and just be like, York would like that, fucking, you know what I mean? Strubing would like that. This guy like that. When Butcher's in town, I'm bringing them to that.
Yeah.
You know, the squad back then, like the guys that would be in the mag all the time.
Totally.
So fun. And I would like be telling like Marcus and LeVar and those guys, come on. So, you know, it was like one day we're out. Oh, I found a flat bar in Presidio. All right, let's check it out. This been done. All right, let me do the blunt side thing. Do the front blunt, do it. Like transfer the other side. And then I get a phone call. Oh, you got to do it again. But I got to bring you aboard. And he goes, I'm going to go to FTC and get that same Mike Carroll board, but don't put any stickers on it. And stickers all over. I was in Photo Incentive King. I was like hustling. Yeah. So I had my Reflex bearing sticker on there, DVS sticker, whatever shoes. No, I was wearing S back then. Etnies and Don Brown was still hooking me up. So I had like Sal's. Actually, I remember I had those Sal shoes. And then, you know, all my sponsors for, you know, you get it in the magazine, get $200.
Right.
So hell yeah, like, you know, kill 6 birds with one stone, you know. So I think my board had hella stickers. So there was like, we ain't putting that on the cover. I didn't know I'm getting the cover. So Luke brings me the board, set it up. So, all right, do it here. And so in full-blown Thrasher, earn a cover style. I do it again. I eat shit. Slam. I one, fucking miss one. Do the full leg over, bam, hip, falling, boom. I'm laying fucking next to Luke. Like my fucking face is in the gutter. It's like a curb. My face is literally in between like this, like in the curb. And I'm looking at him like all like body like tweak. And he's like, get up and do it. This is for the cover of Thrasher. And I just got up and it was like, oh, fuck. Went back, did like 2 more, made it. And then I think I ate shit. And I tried another one. I ate shit again. And he goes, okay, you ate shit twice. So it's like super legit. It's like, and I felt like I needed to eat shit in order for it to be the cover. Even like the whole point of getting the cover is landing the move. I felt like dues to be paid to have that honor, you know? And so when he told me that shit, I was like, damn, and really fucked with me because the way I look at skateboarding, you know, it made me go, wow, I contributed this much to this shit. Like people know my name and stuff like that. And like everyone in skateboarding, in my eyes, got to think about it like this. Everybody in skateboarding got to look at me in November. I still remember it's November because of my birthday month too. Fuck, man.
Damn.
That was fucking cool. It meant a lot to me. That's a big deal to me. That Thrasher cover, it's big deal. Especially at the time. It's 96, bro. I ain't getting no, it's 90s, bro. You had to earn that shit. Like 96, the rough year. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it wasn't like sympathy or nothing. It was like, you know, there was enough skaters to cover more than 12 months of magazines in that year.
Right.
I could have not been one and been totally okay with it. So to know that the whole skateboard world was looking at me for just that little bit of second, and I was like, whoa, that's great. Like, usually it's like Mike Vallely is getting looked at or someone, you know, and they're all now look like, do you get it? What I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No, it's
like,
sacred, man. It's forever, and you can never take that away from you.
You know, I'm one of them now. Like, instead of one of them, they're all looking at me. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm usually in the crowd looking at one of them. And that's why it's special to me, bro. And it was like, fuck yeah. And I'm not mad at the photo. I'm not mad at the trick. I'm not mad at none of it. Like, you know, when I look at that picture, I'm like, oh, that's dope.
So
like,
he didn't explain to you when he was like, oh, we got to go do it with a different board with no stickers. He
didn't tell me. Everybody does that to me.
Because usually nobody tells anybody they're getting a cover. Like usually, like that's, you know, it's like that's kind of.
I would have blew it. I would have probably got too nervous, or I would have been trying to think I needed to do something more or something. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Or like Tommy Guerrero guns and look over the shoulder. Do I do it natural? Am I good enough? Do I mimic? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, spot wasn't super crazy. Like, as far as like how you get a Thrasher cover now, that shit better be gnarly. Like, you know what I mean? But skating changed, and you little fuckers did it yourselves by going gnarly and buck that whole time. So blame yourselves, bro. You guys put it that way. But I mean, a good photo, it was sick. And, you know, just to even be considered to get a cover, to actually get it is rad. It was like people saw it that I respect in skateboarding and said, hell yeah, this motherfucker gonna represent our shit this month. Me being on the Thrasher cover with the name Thrasher, yo, man, someone could fuck that up. You know what I mean? Like, that's why old people, I think sometimes when you be seeing like super old people, they just are kind of on like different time, you know, they move different, but then you'll notice it with all of them. It's just kind of where they left off. You know what I mean? And life moved, and they were like, we ain't doing that shit. And it's like us, you know, he's like, we ain't doing that shit, you know.
For sure. Hey, I've taken so much of your time, and I appreciate it. I got one final one, and it's going to be the hardest one maybe for you.
Oh, is it mass?
No, it's the longest, because throughout your whole career, you've been around fucking insane shit. You've been on rad tours. You've skated with great people. Is there one thing that stands out as I was there for this and it stoked the fuck out of me? Like if it's MJ's fucking Ender or whatever it was.
Oh man, this is going to be hard.
Is that too hard? There's not anything, or it doesn't have to be the number one, but it could be whatever comes to mind.
I'm not going number one, but let me shoot out some stuff that I've been around. So like we said earlier, being in the room with Mike Carroll and them was kind of
cool. Insane.
I don't know why I was there. Let's see. I saw Henry do a fakie 5-0 fakie flip for the first time. I was there at Embarcadero on the Terminator board. Saw that. That was pretty fucking gnarly to see that. That was unbelievable. I was at every one of those Steve Olson skating Hubba Hideout sessions.
Really?
Yeah.
Foundation. Oh, fuck. Steve Olson, man. What happened to that dude? So sick.
The monk, bro. But yeah, he was 40s, and then I don't know, he just kind of did his thing, whatever after. But yeah, when the monk was on Foundation and fucked that hubba up, I was there, bro.
Wow. What was the coolest shit you seen LeVar do in person?
All that shit, everything.
Everything he did, you were there.
Frontside flip. He switched frontside flip to 7 at Embarcadero on Shiloh's first pro model board. So that tell you about.
There you go.
Real good.
Fuck.
Ollie the Gons. LeVar Ollie the Gons. That was
really
fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Me and Paul was about to kind of look at it. LeVar got up there and did that shit. He was like, I'm cool. I don't know if Carl and I did it. I'd never Ollie the Gons.
Uh-huh.
We didn't get a chance.
Damn. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I wasn't there for Dino and I wasn't there for Mark, but I was there for Josh Wendell's frontside shove it. I was actually on the payphone talking to Rodney Mullen. Oh shit. No,
wow.
He's right there, bro. That was when he was on Think, and he was on Venture and Think. Josh Wendell. This is right before like all the jail stuff or whatever, the gun stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he was skating, and he was like, I think Rick had tried to front shove it, but he didn't land it. So it was still up in the air. They show Rick like try a front shove in Plan B video, but he bails it. And you hear Carl go, oh, that's our little voice. Oh, I do the same thing. Oh, but now it's all old and fucked up. I've been cheering like that forever. So that's me and Carl's voice. And then I'm on the phone and I'm like ordering a box or something, like, hey, where's or filming the video, whatever, talking to Rodney, you know what I mean? And you have to pay phone. I'm watching. I could see the Gons gap. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Josh Wendell just frontside shoved the fucking Gons gap. I like told Rodney, and Rodney like got it. Like LA got it. It was like Instagram, bro. I was like, I'm like reporting skate news to like Rodney
on the scene.
Gons gap, frontside shove, Swindell. Click, like, you know what I mean? Like on the phone, Rodney up there, like, no shit. Like, yeah, next thing you know, it's fucking think at him doing it. Sequence. Yeah, so that was cool.
That's amazing.
Eris's warehouse, like early days, like seeing like meeting like Danny Sargent and him being so fucking cool and being like so cool for like a pro back then. Like Debo was pretty cool, but he was kind of like on his thing. And then he would roll with Julian, who was like, fuck these guys. That did like it'd fly out. So we'd see Julian, he'd say, what's up? He wouldn't be a dick, but he would be like, we're not hanging with these guys. So Julian ate fast and he'd be out. And our little ass couldn't keep up. We'd be like, all right, Dave. You know, that crew of dudes.
Yeah.
So we would see those guys. I would trip out on that. When Tommy and him would like be regulars at fucking Embarcadero for a minute, there were like Mandy Lokes for a second. That was sick. Fucking us going to Nodis's house and shit. That was fucked up.
The one that he does the tail slide off the
Well, we were Jim. We go to the beach. So I'm looking the beach that I skate all the time now, but like then I'm like like looking at this shit, like, oh my God, that's where Nodis does to this. That's this. Fucking bugging. And then Jim's like, yeah, we're gonna go walk up to Nodis's house. We didn't walk. It was right there. We walk up, we walk, and I'm sitting on Nodis' couch looking at Nodis, just watching Nodis walk around his house, looking at everything in his fucking house. Like, damn, that's Nodis' chair. He sits in that. That's his table. He puts things on that. Wow, look at his wall, dude. It looks like my wall, kinda, but doper. It's Nodis's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you're bugging the fuck out. And then obviously Stereo J Sleeve meeting all them dudes, and you know what I mean? And you know, being on an airplane and fucking skating, or I don't know, all that shit. Shit is crazy, dude.
You've had a fucking sick career, dude. You've been around a lot of people and you've done a lot of rad shit yourself. So I really appreciate you taking the time, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I remember that one long weekend we had in Vegas for the Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Nelly and fucking everything. It was like Felper and Mickey were like the hosts, and like
it was beautiful.
It was a crazy one. So well, good, man.
In the head with a water bottle on that.
Oh, yeah.
But he was throwing it to TNT because Tony had fucking ripped, and I'm talking with him. I'm like, bro, get this dude some water. I'm like looking around, and Julian's up at the top. He fucking throws the fucking water bottle, and the fucking cap hits me right in the fucking head, dude, and like camera and everything. And I fucking fall on my ass.
Oh.
I look up and he's like, oh shit. And I'm like, this is cool. And everyone's laughing and shit. And I just think I'm getting fired from the place.
Oh,
All pissed off because they were talking to me in the ear thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Up and I was like, dude, I just got hit in the head with a fucking bottle. I'm over this shit. And I remember saying to the mic, like, I'm over this shit. It was so fucking funny. Fired. I wonder what happened to my career. I wonder why I'm not like doing that. I would love that job, but whatever.
Yeah.
I blew it in Vegas. I guess I'm the only guy to burn it in Vegas.
Yeah, right. No way. Well, fuck, dude. Thank you so much, man. Good
No
talking
worries.
to you. Chime in from time to time. Say what's up.
I will, for sure. I appreciate it.
I love you, Mike. Take care.
Take care. Love you. Thanks for the opportunity. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yes, later.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talking Schmit. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications every Tuesday of new episodes the minute they become available. Also, please leave reviews and a 5-star rating. It's the best way to help the show grow. All of the episodes will always remain free, but if you would like to help support the show, you can do so at TalkinSchmit.com, where you can pick up some merchandise like t-shirts, beanies, hats, and stickers. The website has an entire archive of all of the episodes, with extra photos and videos. Email us with any suggestions, comments, or ways that the show may have improved your life at talkinschmit@gmail.com. All interviews are conducted, edited, and produced by Schmitty. The intro music is Mary's Cross by the band Nature. A very special shout out goes to the executive director, Sharal Camisa.
Shout out.
This is Talking Schmit, where the Rolodex is deep, but the conversation is deeper.
Keep the wheels greased.